Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Default.
Light edition.
Indeed. So today we have Bailey's Oldham,
Hello.
and we have Cameron as Addition.
Yeah.
Dylan is off entertaining family, and Milkshake might be joining today. He's feeling a bit poorly. So our session. Let's do a recap. So the party started off just leaving the capital of the Fallen Country Fling, and they started traveling, taking along with a group of civilians and a guard. Traveling west, they traveled for a couple of days and were able on the second day to resurrect Garrick, finding out that Garrick had, but actually not finding out, Garrick, when being returned, was seemingly, when he died, brought into the wrong afterlife. The rest had been sealed, shut. He was brought into the Arages realm. When he was returned, he was a bit traumatized, let's just say. And the party was happy to see him, I think. They then managed to find a group of a pair of rangers who seemed to be scouting the area that everyone was in. What is that?
That might be me eating. I'll push my mic away.
It's fine, don't worry. It's something else. They rangers promised them safe passage back to the Order of the Hunt, which, after a slight bit of confrontation with one of the guards that was in the party all travelled to the Order of the Hunt, finding out also while on the way that Rain, who said she was imprisoned, was actually just brought into an internment camp that the hunters had set up for all the populace of the elves, as kind of a safe measures, essentially. They also met the leader of the elves, Orion, the hunter, and had a brief conversation with him. In addition, Erilyn and Abraham went off and met Erilyn's father, also finding Erilyn's stepmother in a coma. I think that's everything. Tell me if I'm wrong in that regard. My mind is blanking.
I think after we spoke to Orion, we left to go and find Rain. That was it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you hadn't found her yet. That's right.
No, we were left to go and find her.
Cool. Okay. So, we'll start off with, obviously, because you guys are kind of together, let's just say, for sake of ease, Erin and Abraham are kind of doing the thing. I think the Raven's with them, but...
Yeah, that was
eyes.
it. The Raven went there to go and see what was going on.
My eyes with them as well.
For now, we're gonna pass that, which obviously...
It's fine. I think Zoyce went with them as well. Because he wasn't here.
Right. I think Garrick has been following the party, but has been obviously very quiet. I think kind of just dealing with everything.
Having a crisis kind of level.
Cool. In addition, I think it's been 2 days since a message was sent, Bailey, from yourself. And I think 5 days was promised.
It's been longer than 2 days.
I think it was on the second day.
We spent 2 days travelling to get back here.
Yeah.
And it was on the second day of travel from the pit to the city.
Oh, so 3 days, sorry. So, yeah, it would be 3 days because it was second day of travel was just getting to the city. Then you had 2 more days traveling to the Order. So you have 2 more days. Okay. So You guys have been directed towards the place where everyone's been saying that Rain is. I can't remember exactly which camp it was, but it was in a camp.
One of the camps.
My God.
Anything you guys are doing along the way?
I guess just walk there, really. Nothing
I'll
I've
probably
got
just be
planned.
taken in the state of the place.
I mean, looking around, it's not unpleasant. People are like living. People are continuing. They obviously don't have a lot of resources anymore. Like you can see that there's ration posts and such. So, but it's not as though it's a dour demeanor. Like I think some people you can tell that some of the citizens, especially the more higher end ones, like maybe some of the high elves, they're not in the happiest of moods. Because everyone seems to be very, very equal in terms of status here, and I think you probably see that they are not used to that. But people don't seem to be raging or very angry. You know, they're kind of getting on with it.
So the general mood is fairly like
Down. But...
it's just the situation and we have to deal with it.
Yeah.
There's no like surface level ill content.
No. It's
Okay.
Everyone's just a bit pissed off.
Fucking spiders.
Yep.
so. As you are getting to the internment camp, the one thing you do notice is it's a bit tense. You think you see a few hunters kind of scrambling around, looking to see if they try and get an angle or something.
I don't have a feeling Rain's trying to escape or do something stupid.
Can I just confirm who's with our group? So it's Indestrum, Auburn,
Garrick.
Garrick.
I think it's
Is
literally
Zois
just the
with
three
us?
of you. No, his voice is with.
Yeah,
I
I'm pretty
think
sure we
she's.
sent those with Abraham and Abraham.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, for sake of ease, we'll just say that that's the case as well.
If we didn't, we did
We did
after we
that.
finished speaking with Orion. We said, "Go and find Abraham. He'll look after you."
So,
Yeah, I think with that, Indestrum will kind of keep an eye out just to make sure no one's like jumped on top of a goblin, because Indestrum knows that goblins aren't usually a commonly well accepted sight.
of course, you don't hear anything as of yet. Like even with your passive, it doesn't look like there's been any major disruption.
Yeah. And they'll keep checking in with the Raven to see if Zoe's made it there okay.
Of course, I'd say in the kind of 15 minutes of travel you guys do to get to this camp, you'd find the Raven would see it.
Okay, cool.
So party-wise, you guys get to there, and as I say, the kind of hunters seem to be running back and forth. You hear some wells in Elven being shouted back and forth, or at least just being shouted into the camp, which is very much, halt, just stop still, just stay still for crying out loud, essentially.
Are any of these rangers running past us?
I wouldn't say any have run past you yet.
Or like near us?
Yeah, some will get close, probably like
yeah, I'll call out to one like, "What's happening? Do you need help?"
somebody. We don't have to need help. So, someone in the camp is kind of freaked out about the situation and held one of the hunters hostage. We're kind of.
I just go and just
Garrick
shout,
kind of turns around.
"Rain!
And goes, "Is he an elf?"
It's okay. They're not bad. Let him go."
Give me a persuasion check.
Oh no.
Can I help? Can Garrick help?
Garrett can help. Yeah, sure. I'd say.
I think that means it's a flat roll.
Actually, are you poisoned the second? How are we doing double disadvantage? Because in theory, you're disadvantaged from your scar as well.
Yeah, that's actually what I was thinking. I forgot I was poisoned.
Oh.
I don't know. That's up to you.
I say
it does
both
true,
of you. Yeah, I say both of you are just basically shouting up as well.
Everybody's like, "Stop!"
Well, to be
What
fair,
you doing?
Indestrum speaks Elvish, so
Right, give me a straight persuasion roll.
I got a 13.
13?
I need to re-enable fucking... What's it?
Beyond 20.
Yeah.
You'd see coming out of one of the tents, like Rain comes out with like one of her arms
we
in
can take my test on there if you want.
No, you see Rain comes out like she's got an arm in a sling and she's maybe leaning on a crutch with a spear to a hunter's throat.
She never stops, does she? She never stops.
Good for her, though.
She like looks at. She like looks at you, like looks out into the kind of just slightly past. It's like it looks like it's more looking at you as like a body block for arrows in case.
I've just got my head and hands, just deep sigh. Please put the spear down.
He kind of like lowers her spear, like kind of just from his like kind of pushes, like tries to push him away at the same time. And the hunter is very much like pulling daggers out, kind of turning around, like walking backwards.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the range. It's like, it's fine. She's not used to this sort of organized force, I guess.
She thinks you're enemies.
She thinks she's being held here against her will.
Please communicate without that her to them. We cannot spend many resources trying to stop a crazy fucking elf.
Also,
I wouldn't call her crazy.
Yes, I wouldn't call her elf either.
You see, like some of the hunters, like,
Just like,
we kind of
look, there's a lot going on. Leave this with us.
the hunter who was held comes out, and you kind of see like not a firing line, but very much like you see them kind of pointing the arrows at the gate, just in case anyone runs out. So, right. I presume you know her?
Yes.
Okay. If you can go calm her down, please. We have too much we need to worry about. I've been needing to go out on a patrol about 10 minutes ago.
We're very sorry. I will start heading towards Rain.
Gonna hear as you're leaving, bloody tourists. So you head into the camp and you see Rain is. She's got her spear, like she's still gripping it, but as I say, she's got one of those clutches where it's very much just underneath the armpit, kind of like a wooden one, and her arm seems to be kind of in a very rudimentary sling. But she's holding kind of a defensive position. She kind of waits. She's not. No, she has seen Indestrum, but very briefly though, hasn't she? Yeah.
She's definitely seen Garrick.
Yeah.
Although I think the last time she saw him, he was dead.
Dead. Yeah. She will say to Garrick. I don't think Garrick can understand her in any regard.
Oh, she's got the amulet.
Oh, she does. Right. Sorry, I keep forgetting that. It's good to see you back up.
It's good to be out of that place. And you just 1,000-yard stare again, just shaking.
Come inside, just outside of their eyes, if possible. Like she kind of like walks backwards, like keeping an eye on the outside.
It's like, now I understand your reluctance to speak with them, given your past, but these guys are not like the elves you know. You're not being held against your will. This is merely a camp to house refugees, which they think you are.
Like she will kind of tilt her head on like the phrase of refugees. Like she recognizes a word, she just doesn't know what it is.
Let's say half of one of the underground villages got killed and you accepted the people who ran away. That is a refugee. They are looking after people who have been from the country that has been destroyed by spiders.
Yeah. I see. Okay. That makes a bit more sense now. Okay, come in. We can. The rest of the villagers are in here. You gotta walk in. There's like only 2 villagers left from the group you had. They will give you Well, they won't say anything because they had to talk to you.
I mean, I was probably just nodding their general direction.
Yeah, probably be a similar kind of thing. So, you got to the that city you were talking about then.
We did.
Like you see, Rain kind of sits down at the bed. She looks like she's in quite a bit of pain. I'm glad. Did you lose anyone else?
Luckily, no.
Yeah, by some miracle.
It wasn't. It was close. I must admit.
We encountered some more horrors. That's for sure.
Yeah, the spiders really seem to have come claim this area quite well. It's terrifying,
Well-
really. I've never seen them work this effectively.
Hopefully they'll be a
Yeah.
little less organised now.
You kind of see Garrick shaking at the mention of all of this, just kind of like, no, no.
I see Ray using it. Get over it. I've dealt with spiders my whole life. You're not saying anything special.
We didn't encounter any of these ones while we were down there. They grew out of people.
Oh.
And Destrom turns around and goes, "Oh, so have you ever heard of a spider merging multiple personalities into one in Elvish?"
No.
And it had psychic abilities.
You know, I lived in that hole for many years. You guys managed to find some weird shit down there.
I
No, I
have
think
a
you
feeling.
infer enough.
I have a feeling the psychic sister wasn't entirely truthful with us.
That doesn't shock me, to be honest.
Yeah. Oh look, I was just desperate to get out of that fucking hole. No
Garrick,
offense.
me too.
Look around, just no offense.
No offense taken. Trust me, I followed you for a reason. I'm never going back in there. Even if the sunlight here is a bit too unbearable at times.
And Destrom kind of said, "So why did you live in that place for so long?"
I mean, we didn't realise there was another option.
Ah.
I imagine it was much like we didn't know they were down there. They didn't know we were up here.
Trust me, I climbed out from the bottom of that hole, from the Drow City. Like, she kind of, like, she's talking in Elvish, she's not really worried about saying what she knows they can't speak it, essentially, the other refugees. I climbed out from that Drow City up to that small village, because that was at the top of the hole. That's literally, I tried to get as far as I could. Also, the village wasn't too bad. Well, it got worse, but...
I mean, as things go down the hole, the villages were alright. Except the one that had zombies in it.
There were zombies down there?
Yeah, that's how Erilyn died.
Oh.
I do miss the spider silk hammocks that was down there. They were comfortable.
Well, yeah, I suppose you've not had the chance to have a proper bed yet, and I'm imagining it's all like...
It's very much
just
like...
bedrolls and...
Bedrolls or kind of, you know, the army kind of like camp tents. Hard and itchy.
Hot at you.
But yeah, I'm glad you're all right. I think I've done my duty in that regard. Then, keeping you guys safe as long as I could.
While she's sort of been talking, how, like, are her wounds like surface level wounds, or is it like breaks? Do you reckon? If I'm looking,
Give me a medicine check.
medicine check. Roll. Wow, 2 18s.
Nice.
Not bad.
40. No, that's 20,
sorry.
22.
What the fuck? What did that happen?
Added the disadvantages together.
Keep lowest one. maybe something very weird there with a foundry. But
No,
tell her.
that's disadvantage. 2d20, keep lowest one, so it keeps the lowest.
No, but
Which
it's
one?
displaying 40.
Yeah. Keep lowest one is supposed to just take the lowest roll, but
But yeah, it was 22.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
So you can tell that you think, from what you can gather, it's not a break on the leg. You can't see like the sling. It's kind of hard to tell from like just cursory glance unless you like ask the detector. Her leg looks like she's taken an arrow wound because you can see like they distinctly like it looks like there was like kind of remnants of a tourniquet above her leg.
Okay. I will do a level 2 cure wounds on her.
You see the leg stitch up. The arm she just kind of keeps in a thing. Oh, thank you. Yeah, especially with 15.
Yeah.
Thank you. It kind of straightens out her leg and takes off, like, I imagine that's like a brace or like a splint, essentially.
Do either of the villagers look injured that came with?
No, they look a bit tired, they look a bit dirty, but no, it only looks like Raiden took the damage. You suspect Rain probably in the fight, and the Rain, one of them ran, essentially.
The question that's been burning a hole through Aubrun. So, Rain, I mean, now that I see you're okay, those goods I gave you, do you still have those?
I think, yeah, there was the Elven Quartermasters took them away. From what I was told, they're apparently just keeping it safe.
Oh, that sounds like bureaucratic bullshit, and Aubrun storms out of the tent.
I get the sense he really wants that back.
We are very poor.
Well, it was a pleasure meeting you, Rain. I bid you. And he gives a flourish of a bow and whips the cloak around him.
Aubrun turns on the spot because he forgot something and pokes his head back in the tent.
I like to imagine, as Indestrum leaves, Aubrun does that and they nearly crash into each other. Like, whoa, what are you doing, man?
I forgot to ask her one of the actual questions I wanted to ask her. I want to share. This is probably I'd have a quick chat with Garrick rather than Indestrum because you weren't there. I'd like to tell them about the big spider that's down the bottom without letting them know that we opened the hole. So I'm going to have Rain tell them because she lived down there.
I see. But she might not give it away, considering that, after we arrived, the hole was open.
This is true. Maybe we just say we found it open.
Or
I mean, if all it took was to dispel magic, I'm impressed it's not happened before, to be honest.
So just to remind me, what actually happened to open it?
It was a dispel magic of, and I'll say Abraham would have known it at the time. It was he had to get 18, so it was a level 18. It was a level 18 spell.
Level 18 spell. Fuck me.
By the gods.
It was a level 8 spell.
Okay, so it was just a spell placed on it that was holding it in play.
Yes.
Okay. I think Garrett kind of be like, yeah, I guess we could just, I don't know.
Especially considering what we found down there. I'm surprised Polchania hadn't sent someone.
Maybe they did, and that was why that spell was there.
Oh, I don't know. I'm not going to think too hard on this.
Yeah, I think. What do we gain by telling them anything?
I think we should
found
warn them about the other big spiders. Because the psychic sister did say they would invade eventually. Just not
okay,
yet.
then in that case, if we say, why don't we just get Rain to tell them what?
Yeah, that's the plan. We get to get Rain to tell them.
Yeah, but maybe try and get her to leave out the part of us arriving there. because I feel like
yeah,
that
that's a
could
very
lead
good
to
point.
some
We just
awkward
completely we
precedents.
weren't there. Perfect.
No, not that we weren't
No,
there
no, we
necessarily.
weren't there. We found her running away from the spiders.
Yeah, but then we have to get Rain to agree to tell that story.
Rain.
Starts here, yeah.
Would you be willing to tell the people that have saved you here about the big spiders down the bottom? But you didn't meet us down there, you met us up here.
Sure.
You know what? I've just remembered how good you lied when we were in the Drow City, so let's put a pin in that. Drowder, was it? We'll be back. Let us. Oh. Fuck it. If someone asks, tell them we weren't there. If they don't, don't. Let us be off.
Sure. Good luck. Oh, before I forget, I'm just gonna pause it from my bag. If you're looking, are you looking for the supplies? Like she gives you like the IOU you got from the elves previously. She gives you one of those IOUs for 200.
200 what?
GP, I believe it was. It was 200 GP
Oh,
of trade supplies. Oh, it was just 100 you gave her.
No, it was definitely 200. Yeah.
No, it was 100.
Hang on, I do have it written down. Yeah, it was 100.
Yeah. So she would give you like a note which says, "We promise you the sum of 100. This will be valid, like as per the like the elf, the order of the hunt or something like that."
Oh, you know what? Then I'm a little. You know, if we've got it in writing, it's a bit better.
Garrick at this point kind of turns and is just like, you know what? For all the fucking shit, fucking crap we've had to go through, the amount of fucking IOUs that we have to cash in, and yeah, I'm no fucking richer for all this shit.
I mean, we have Electrum trade goods. Well, no, what was it? We have a bunch of trade goods, so technically we have value, but it's not great. I do have this cursed sword. Do you want that?
I mean, I'm uneasy enough in forest, and I don't really know why.
Oh man.
Are we still in a forest, or is it more city now?
Oh yeah, you're in forest.
Oh yeah, Garrick is definitely like, instead of like, oh, I feel very uneasy in forest, he's just like, yeah, no, I don't know about a curse sword. I still don't like being here. Like, I feel very uneasy.
I imagine that most of the elven lands you've been in is very much been like most of their like aside from possibly some of the like high elves that you guys probably encountered in the past, who live in like kind of more manor-based kind of constructions. All the kind of like living is very much in trees or kind of like in the kind of forests. Like you know how Aaron's house was built in a like into a tree.
The elves are living their Sylvanian family fantasy.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
that is probably the best way of describing it. The city, like the towns, probably look a lot worse than that, but you know that kind of style.
Okay, well, I think that's a good, good plans for now. We have the IOU. I'm guessing we were told that they don't have money right now, right? Until this situation's resolved.
Basically, they are like trading with they're planning to get like resources with the Sapphire route, and they're giving out IOUs until they can like get the resources. Like they're stating that you can theory trade them for like resources and such. They're using the gold on the Sapphire route, and you can like buy the stuff from the elves themselves.
Okay. Well, for now, does anybody have anything that they want to do? And I look at Garrick and Adestrum.
Garrick just says like, hell, it's been a long journey, but I think I'm ready to return to my people. I need to find them.
My people need me. Flies up into the sky.
Before you do that, Garrick, I do have to explain some things to you.
I'm not about to go running off. It's just that's my next goal. What do you have to explain?
Wait, while he says that, he sort of taps where his eye is folded, with the eye patch. Just like trying to subtly gesture that it's about that. Whether you pick up on that or not, that is up to you.
Would Garrick pick up on that?
Well, so Garrick would have. Have you guys actually talked to Garrick about the eye since? Because obviously Garrick wasn't there when
I took him aside and explained everything that's happened except the eye, because I don't want Indestrum to know about it yet.
And Garrick's intelligence is 9 at a -1.
Yeah, I imagine kind of Garrick is like. He's got an eye patch there.
How wise is he though?
Oh, he is quite wise.
Insight's wisdom.
+2. True. I guess. Can I roll an insight to see if Garrick would pick up on that?
Sure. I'd say maybe it wouldn't
12?
be low.
Very average.
12.
I mean, he's hinting to something. Like the fact that the eye hasn't been mentioned, and Garrick wasn't alive to see that the eye was a thing, and I don't think Oberyn's used the eye properly since Garrick has come back. I'd say that Garrick can tell if something's hinting or something. Obviously, Garrick's never seen him with an eye patch, so there's something a bit weird there.
Okay.
Yeah,
so I think Garrick
I
might
would have
be
explained
picking
that
up.
I lost it down in the hole after he died.
Yeah.
But I don't think
just
I would have
not what it is.
said it's, the Giga Magic Eye.
Giga Magic.
Not that kid.
And after that, Indestrum will just kind of turn around and go, well, I have some more artifacts to try and find and some more information to learn. I mean, that vault has to be around here somewhere. He kind of just, as a throwaway comment, not to anyone in particular.
I reckon both of us just shoot straight at that. Oh. What?
But
I'm
you
not
kind
gonna
of see him
say
looking
anything.
up. The other thing Indestrum kind of says, though, I'd also be interested to know what's causing all that volcanic ash and all those volcanoes to have erupted.
That's a good point. Where
There
were
is
the
something
volcanoes?
else.
Yeah.
North?
Yeah.
Yeah, where? Like where? Is it north of the map that we've seen, or?
No,
It's
this, isn't it?
yeah, it's part of this
Oh,
mountain
okay,
range.
is that okay? That's a long way. that's a very long way.
Yeah, I don't think it's something we can be able to travel there, but I feel like that ash cloud could cause some major problems.
I do agree.
I mean, you can see it in the distance, but again, it's not gotten to. I mean, for what you can gather, you don't think
The
it's
continent.
gotten. Yeah, like imagine like just standing on the horizon, you see dark clouds like miles away, but you can see.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I think for now, maybe we should lick our wounds and try and help these people get on their feet a bit better.
I mean, what help can we offer them, though, really? We don't exactly have any money.
Oberon pulls out 1,000,000 types of tools. He's got smith's tools, he's got jeweler's tools, he's got tinker's tools, he's got chef's tools.
Indestrum
I'm
kind
a
of
man
like...
of many skills.
Indestrum just kind of like walks around you for a second and looks at your bag. What the fuck?
I'm just pulling every other fucking utensil or tool you've ever seen out of my my sack. Apparently I've got a hammer and a crowbar. It's just like, woohoo.
I mean, I've heard of Bag of Holdings, but I've never seen like a non-magical rucksack being this capable.
It is a bag of holding.
Ah, well, that explains a lot.
Indeed.
I've heard of bag of holding, but I've never seen anything like this. This is a bag of holding.
This is one of those things. Wow.
Ah, well, that explains much.
But I've heard of it. I've never seen it.
The only reason I carried 500 pounds of fucking pitons around.
What? And toys.
And Zoys.
Zoys.
Correct.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
We don't talk about that.
Those pitons probably had a bit of a slime when you were doing that, by the way.
Well, it's not like they go into an actual room They're all sort of in an
It's a
extra
plane.
dimensional space.
With no oxygen.
It's an aerobic
Zois
bacteria.
was fermented by the time he came out. It's like surströmming.
Hey, I'll be right back, quickly. 2 seconds.
Yeah, I think with that, Auron would go and check in with Abraham and that lot. See what's up.
Never mind, the she one's in the toilet.
So, if you are going to meet up with Erilyn, you kind of make your way to the command tent. Not the command tent, sorry, the like kind of healers that they were in.
Hmm.
And you can see that people have a variety of injuries. Some of them seem to be more minor. Some of them seem to be more serious. Like you see some people with some arms and legs off. And you see in the corner, next to a bed at the end, you see a woman that I think Garrick and Oberon have seen, which is Erin's stepmother, who seems to be missing an arm that seems to have been cut off. Her leg seems to have been kind of like, it looks like it's been necrotized in a kind of like.
Wait, who's this?
Erin's stepmother.
Jesus!
And she seems to be completely unconscious.
I look over at Erilyn's face.
Let me describe this next bit.
Oh yeah, sure. Sorry.
As you look over at Erin and Abraham, I think you just get to the end bit of their conversation. From what you can gather with the Raven, by the way, it would have been very much a kind of conversation, just kind of at the start asking how you are doing and how they are doing. Just kind of chatting, their father giving details on what's happened to him and his wife. Seeming like, this is Justin Desham who would know this for now, for the second, Desham, Abraham, and obviously Erilyn. So it looks like one of the large tarantulas attacked the tree, basically ripped it from the roots, and it kind of collapsed while the stepmother was in there. But the father was just getting home from a hunt, and the tree had fallen onto, she had fallen out of the tree, and the tree had fallen onto her arm.
Ouch.
She was attacked by a smaller spider, and basically the father, kind of using up all his resources, were able to kill the spiders that are around and get her from underneath the tree. And he's kind of just travelled with there with kind of just the bow and the axe. Normally he carries a bunch of daggers on him and such. You guys will all pick up his. He kind of has a look around the father, and will say to, I think everyone at this stage, can we have a quick talk in a quiet somewhere? It looks like he's looking at Erin, but everyone can pick that up.
I guess Indestron will look around and see, is there a quiet area nearby?
I can make one.
He will direct you, he will take you out, essentially. He will take you out of the tent.
While this is happening, I'm going to rifle around in Abraham's pockets and put my eye back. Not very sneakily this time.
Oh boy.
So don't know, though. But
Do you want me to roll his
True,
perception?
that was a nat 1. I think that's a below everybody's passives. I think everyone sees that.
Oh yeah.
Fair.
So you're looking for your eye, did you say?
Yeah, I left it with him and it was sort of bobbing around.
Yeah, I imagine you can take back your eye. Abraham will give you quite of a weird look. I'm like, why don't you just ask for it? Essentially.
I don't think he knew it was with him because I rolled really well to put it on him.
Yeah. You stuck it in there.
But you're able to take your eye mat without issue. You notice some people do see you.
Yeah, I think.
With Indestrum and
I'd
Garrick.
probably take it
Yeah.
and act like it's a glass eye.
Garrick just seems a bit shocked, and Destrum's like, giving more of a thoughtful look towards it.
Well, I mean, I think Destrom's sure it fire death beams. I'm not too worried about him seeing it at this point.
Fair. Oh yeah, no, yeah, he's seen it, hasn't he? Yeah.
I disintegrated a spider.
I think Garrick
Oh.
would be a bit more popular.
He's also seen it tase someone amusingly, or tase a spider.
Also,
Oh no, because obviously you tried to shoot him
and
with it as well.
exploded.
Yeah, you tried to shoot him with it with the kobolds. That's right.
Yeah, it was a charm ray, I think.
Mm.
I did that, and then I blasted that spider that was attacking the family as well.
Yeah, that's it.
But yeah.
You are taken out to kind of a behind the thing, and you see him take you out to a kind of a small forest area.
What's going on with your mic?
Is that me?
Yeah,
Someone's hoovering, I'll mute it.
it takes you out to a small kind of wooded area, and this will be everyone.
Mm.
Though you probably would give him a few weird looks at Indestian coming.
I'd also say Garrick at this point as well, just like looking at all the trees and like pulled into himself.
He kind of has a quick look around, doesn't see any hunters. I want to ask you a question. I think I know what the answer is going to be, but I want you to tell me truthfully. I won't say anything, but I promise. I need to know. I was told that there was a pit that the spiders originated from, and I remember you guys mentioning it just before you were going, that you're possibly going towards the crater. And was it you guys who opened it? I'll just come straight out.
I feel like Garrick would have just that, like just looks down, kind of like not really sure what to say. And Desmond's like, I had nothing to do with this. I only found them coming out of the hole. And he steps back.
Yeah, I mean, I'd look at Errol and... Does she look like she'd answer?
She looked like she's answering. She looked like very much hesitating. I want to ask, and this is very much a question for everyone. Would you think everyone would lie or tell the truth?
I think she'd probably tell the truth, having seen the state that her stepmom's in. Personally.
Be right back.
Okay.
Well, I think I'd see her go to answer.
Yeah.
And I would step in, like, I opened it. It was me. If anybody tries to say anything, I sort of wave them off.
The group I was with you, I probably see Abraham. I imagine would
Yeah, I can imagine Abraham would try and argue, but I think I would do my best to stop him.
You see, the father kind of like he doesn't look like he's gonna like pull it out or anything, but you see him kind of like putting his hand with the axe on his back, and kind of just gripping it tightly.
Yeah, I think I'd look down at it and just look him in the eyes. I wouldn't blame you. But I need you to understand there are worse horrors in that hole. Someone would have gone down there whether we liked it or not, and I think at this point Auron pulls out his eye. This stays between the people here. And he sort of holds it up.
You kind of see like the book, Indestian's book, and Quill start scribbling.
I think you see the father kind of it looks like he's kind of breathing off, I think, anger and disappointment from where you can go.
I think Garrick would also kind of like raise his hand and just go, I did also die down there. It was thanks to these that I'm standing with you now.
I imagine Erilyn wouldn't say anything about her dying. Just as a addendum.
I think Garrick, because of his ways, like, Erilyn also lost her life at one point down there. And Abraham as well?
No, Abraham lived.
Zoe's died.
Oh,
Abraham died in Amaran.
Amaran, yeah. No, and then Garrick will kind of be like, we also lost the little one as he stares at zombies. It was lethal. I'm surprised we even managed. I'm surprised these managed to make it out. I'm surprised I'm even standing here.
He looks like he's taking a moment to process. Like, I think the news of Erilyn dying is kind of overwhelming the rage, if that makes sense. Like,
The fatherly love.
Yeah, I imagine he's just in shock.
Yeah.
What's the eye?
I don't know. Does it have any heraldry on it, like on the back? Now that it's sort of floating out.
Oh no.
None at all.
I would say not. No.
Okay.
And then Destrom, like, now it's out, kind of like walk up to it and start looking around it and everything and trying to comprehend this thing.
Give me either an Arcana or a History check.
They're both the same.
Tell me what you're rolling, though. Tell me which one you're
Arcana.
using. Arcana.
22.
This is a powerful magical artifact, higher than you've ever seen. Like I mean, you've looked at magical, but like you've been in part of the college. This is one of the most powerful artifacts you've ever seen in that regard. Like it's built out of adamantium as a frame, and it seems to have very, very powerful magical thing. I don't know if you would associate it with. I mean, it's more kind of mythology. It being associated with Arage, if that makes sense.
It is associated with Arage.
Mythologically, like you've heard about someone with an eye, essentially, like one of these ancient saints.
Right.
But that was like thousands of fucking years ago. It's weird to even consideration that there could be the same thing.
Okay.
I mean, I think Auburn would go to say what it is, think for a second. I'm going to then spend 6 charges and use Perceiver of Truth to get true sight and make sure there's no one around.
Cool. As you look around, let me think. No, you wouldn't see anyone around. You know, make a perception check. He's taking you out here because it potentially just is not a place that's been patrolled.
Yeah, I know.
for
I'm
fuck's
just
sake.
absolutely being certain there's no like invisible boys keeping an eye on us.
I was gonna say,
if you want to, you can make it one of the smaller charges for that. I can't remember, the brief
It's
glance
fine.
of something.
It's fine.
Cool.
I do this because I imagine it starts glowing. Like darts around looking. This. And, he's stumbling on his words a bit, thinking of how to phrase this.
Right.
Have you heard the legends of the Deus Vault?
That's true. Just can't contain his excitement.
I think the father, Aaron's father, I can't remember his name. I know I've written down somewhere.
Marius?
Erilyn here has mentioned it a couple of times. He was created by the old king.
I'd say at this
Old
point,
Chatmania?
like no common set, like no sense of like he just grabs Auburn by the shoulders, cuts the father off completely. It's just like, you know about the phone? What do you know? Tell me everything. Aaron Hart died for this information. What secrets do you harbor?
Just like, well, I'm not going to tell you after coming this far. Well, as far as I've garnered, this is either a key or something one of the old protectors of said vault had.
You see the book furiously scribbling. Okay, so you weren't able to rescue Aaron Hart's notes at all. That's right, correct?
Yes?
No, you didn't take his book or anything like that when he died.
No, yeah, he said correct, and I said yes. That is correct.
See, me and Erenhard, we found this in books, and we just this intrigued us to no end. The college wasn't necessarily the happiest about us researching this, but when they saw more potential might lie, they were happy for us. And Erenhard one day got permission to go out and try and seek the vault. That's why I'm here. We hadn't heard from him for a long time, and I thought maybe he'd found something.
I mean, he found something. And that was the business end of a dagger.
It's
Or an explosion,
unfortunate
I
he
don't
wasn't
remember
able to.
which it was.
No, he was running away and then got shot in the back with the dart.
Crossbow.
Was it? Crossbow.
Oh, crossbow, I believe.
It's the business end of a Kingdom Shadow fella.
But yeah, and Destrom's kind of like, this is. So you guys have an artifact to do with the vault. So it must be real.
I think.
Hang on, let me do a deception check to see how well Orbital hides his facial expression as you're saying that. Not very well. You can see, like,
I mean, yeah, my
you
passive
say you
side-
must know about it, and he's just like, yes, this is all we know.
You know more.
No.
You know something. Did you find it?
I'm just sort of like looking at the others. Somebody say something, please.
What is everyone's passive insight?
What is passive calculated at?
It's 10 plus mod, I think.
Oh, passive. Yeah, no, it's on the right for me. It's fine. Insight. Mine's 13 passive.
Do you want mine as well?
Yeah.
14.
Abraham's is
Like higher.
17.
Yeah.
So this is 10.
All right. Everyone but Zoe's, I think. Because I think even Garrick has got above 12, right?
Garrick, I do believe. I'll just double check. Yeah, 12
So
on the money.
everyone sees, like, you know, you're having a conversation, so you don't interrupt, but you think you see the father having a bit of a worried look just for a second. But as I say, he is waiting for you.
Yeah. What I'm getting at is there is the god of all spiders down the bottom of that hole that we've currently sealed away. But she will escape. It's just a matter of time.
Right. No.
We have made plans for our friend who we met down there to explain this, so as for us to not have to tell people about the artifacts and such. But I feel you deserve an explanation.
Thank you. Sorry. We just clicked after you were talking. Are you guys going to the dinner tonight?
It's a dinner?
A meeting. You.
Oh yes, we did hear about that.
The guest.
I think at this point you kind of hear Garrick's stomach just kind of grumble slightly at the mention of dinner.
I completely forgot. It's been tough. Have you guys walked around the camp much?
We've seen that it's very much like an internment camp that they say you're free, but it doesn't really give the sense of freedom.
Yeah. No, the guests. They're one of the leaders of Bolchania and one of the Templars.
I immediately bristle at that. Then I think it's best we stay away.
It's why I suggested it. Sorry, I completely forgot.
Last I met the Templars, they tried to
I know.
cover me in molten metal.
It was mentioned before. We're calling for aid. I think the Elven like Orion. I think he's trying to make a kind of uneasy alliance. I don't know. I don't know many details.
doesn't feel like a good idea.
I mean, I'm well versed in the politics of the land, and I've had to deal with many annoying clowns and stuff. I don't mind going in your stead as a representative of this group, and I won't say much unless called upon, and even then I'll be
Me?
brief.
No, I'm.
No,
Oh.
me.
Who are you going instead of? Sorry, who are you directing that to?
Oh no, and Desmond's just talking to the group, saying like, I get the sense you guys don't want to be there, but
Yes, I
I've
think
I've
they'd
had
recognise
dealings
any
with
of
the
us.
Templars,
Ooh.
and I've had dealings with the Templars in the past in political standing. Not I don't like them, but we have an tenuous relationship with them. As with most of the continent, they
Just,
don't see the college as a worthwhile investment.
just don't.
But
Just don't interrupt anything. I want to say just so we keep hidden. I don't know if they've seen you around the camp because I know they're in camp today. They were resting. I don't. So, but they are.
Well, we're outside of their jurisdiction here. If they try anything, we will certainly bite back.
No, of course, but we know we're trying to buy resources from them. We're trying to buy weapons. They manufacture some. Don't stop. Don't try to stop in this trade deal unless if don't have to. Please.
all I'm saying is, if there's a dinner with people going and people can attend, then I can represent my college.
I can transform my appearance and accompany you as a nondescript magi.
To be honest, I think they would be more wary if there were two mages from the college.
And I will come as elf number 3.
Yes, I think maybe if you were my hired bodyguard or something, that would be lend more credit to the story. As I said, I have dealt with them in past times, but I'm not here to stop anything. Just to maybe act as a representative from the college, and if something else is discovered at the time, then it might benefit all of us.
Okay. I want to say thank you for being honest with me. I'm not going to attend the dinner tonight. I need to stay with Erilyn's mother, Gwen, just to watch over her. Please stay safe. Don't get yourself injured.
Do I have?
We've never gotten injured. While just after this happens, I'm gonna sort of have a quick sidebar where I leave Indestrum and Erilyn's dad. I sort of grab everyone else. This is difficult because half of our folks aren't here. You're gonna have to make this choice, I think, Oka, for them.
Yes.
Should I tell Indestrum? Should I tell Indestrum where the vault is?
Abraham kind of I'd say Abraham would probably kind of be along the lines of like, well, he's helped us, but he seems a bit too eager to learn about it.
Yes, he's also speaking to this college every night,
But the thing is, he was friends with Ehrenhard, and he did just tell us that they both went in search for it. Maybe we should find out what he wants with the vault before telling him.
This is true.
I think, obviously,
or maybe
Zoy's never met Ehrenhard. Only Erilyn did.
Yeah. But yeah, I think Abraham would very much be like, maybe find out how much he knows first and what he might want with the vault.
I agree.
I bring this up purely because this is 100% why Koljania are trying to make a deal here. Because they want to search for these artifacts.
I mean, I think we could tell him about where we found the artifacts. I mean, he probably could put that together. I mean, if
Has Abraham revealed that he's a member of Arage religion?
To
Indestrum.
Into Indestrum?
I know
I don't think so.
everyone
He's blocking his symbol. I mean, imagine.
Hiding it, isn't he? Yeah.
I mean,
Is Garrick in this gaggle as well?
Yes, yeah, I would have
Yes.
pulled everyone aside except Industrum and Marilyn's dad.
Garrick does kind of turn around and go, I don't think that anything good comes from Vault. What I saw
No, I
was
fully
nothing
agree.
good.
This is what I mean. I don't think Polchania should have the ability to open it.
Abram does turn and goes, He's
But
from the college, though. I mean, would anyone here actually know much about the college, or kind of
only
the
what
famous
fucking. I mean,
industrial college?
the college is not huge.
Yeah. So I suppose it's kind of like with that, everyone kind. I guess Abraham would kind of be like, "Well, I've never heard of this college." So maybe if they're that small, maybe they have their meaning as well. But again, I still think we should find out what he knows and what he wants.
okay, the consensus is keep it to ourselves for now.
You know, the one person who might actually know about this college is Zoids. Yeah, I think Zoids does know about it.
Does Zoe say anything?
He probably would. But it would only give you the like he knows about the college just from being in the area. So it's like I've travelled the area. I know about the college. I didn't think they were sending out agents. So I've never heard of that happening.
Well, it sounded it was more of a free research than they send people out. But yeah, we'll keep it to ourselves for now, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be a damn sight harder to get back to it. So revealing the information does us no benefit right now.
How far away would you have gone from Indestrum?
I don't think I don't think we'd have gone very far. I think I would have literally just like sidestepped over to everyone and go, huddle. And we're all just being really quiet.
As they're having this discussion, can Indestrum cast Detect Thoughts on Orbron?
Sure. What does that do?
For the duration, you can read through the thoughts of certain creatures. When you cast a spell and has your action on each turn until the spell ends, you can focus your mind on any one creature that you can see within 30 feet of you. If the creature you choose has an intelligence of 3 or lower, or doesn't speak any language, it's unaffected. Initially, I learn the surface thoughts, what is most on its mind. As an action, I can shift my attention or probe deeper into the same creature. If I probe deeper, the target makes a wisdom saving throw. If it fails, I gain insight into its reasoning, emotional state, and something that looms large in its mind. If it succeeds, the spell ends. And then the target knows that you are probing into its mind, and unless you shift your attention to another creature's thoughts, the creature can use this action on its turn to make an intelligence check contested by your intelligence check. If it succeeds, the spell ends.
I mean,
so it would be surface thoughts at first, and then.
I mean, I think you would get the gist of the conversation through the surface thoughts. You know, obviously thinking about what being said.
Yeah, I mean, I think surface thoughts would be Vault, end of the world.
Do we tell him?
Should he know?
I wouldn't say that gives you the position unless you delve deeper.
I do try and probe deeper, hearing like these things. So it would be wisdom saving throw, and it's DC 16.
That's a 4.
For Orbron. Nice. I gain insight into its reasoning, its emotional state, and something that looms large in its mind. Such as something it worries over, loves, or hates.
I mean, I'd argue the Vault is a detail. Unless there's something larger looming over his mind.
Yeah, there is. There's always something larger. His daughter's fucked.
Yeah, you get the details on his daughter, like being covered in fucking like runes carved into her skin.
I can just give you all of his worries right now. Is the Kingdom Shadow gonna come and kill us? Is my dad gonna come and kill us? Are Pachanya gonna come and kill us? Are these volcanoes gonna make the planet blow up?
It's a worry war, isn't it?
Why the fuck am I the only one that hasn't died? It's also
The other
quite a big
thing
one.
is questions verbally directed at the target creature naturally shape the course of its thoughts. So if you're being asked questions, the thoughts might change to be the answer of those questions. Like I'm not asking them, but obviously others are talking.
So,
So it's up to
does Oberon know now that you've delved?
yeah, he would know that something is probing his mind.
Oh, then he absolutely pulls his gun and points it at you.
Well, you know something's probing your mind. You don't know. Oh no, it says that you are probing into its mind, but you can use an action on your turn to make an intelligence check to end the spell, basically.
Intelligence. Does it make a wisdom save to start off with an intelligence after?
Well, it's basically on you instead of it being a saving throw afterwards, you're making an intelligence check to basically
Stop the probe. Right, I
Stop,
see. So you
yeah.
kind of like you're streaming in your mind so that they leave,
Yeah.
essentially.
yeah.
Okay.
That's what
So-
spell says.
I think still the pulling the pistol out, potentially.
He just looks at you and goes, well, that answers my question.
What question would that be?
And while you know, the eye floats behind you. While this is happening as well.
I imagine a bunch of the you'd see the father putting his hand on his axe, which is no fucking one. He doesn't actually know what the gun is. He just sees you pointing up at him, and he presumes like a magical like wand or something like that.
Yeah, I imagine it just starts humming.
What? I imagine the rest are kind of what's going on. What?
Indestrum kind of just has a steel look in his eyes and goes, I have come out to learn as much as I can. I do not mean to pry, but I cannot stand idly by when there may be more for me to know. I mean no ill will, and we have no alliance to anyone on this continent. The Northern Alliance tries to get us on their side, but we try and stay out of affairs of the world as much as possible.
I
The
think
college
because
once
Oberon-
had great.
Yeah, Oberon doesn't know what you've done to him, so he's not going to say anything.
Are you still pointing the gun at him?
Yes.
And Indestrum just says, the college once had great standing. When me and Aaron Hart learned of this vault, we thought that maybe there was a chance to restore the college to what it once was. But we are careful. We know that if there is any inkling of threat from this, then it is not to be trifled with. We may have desires, we may have spent our lives researching this, but we have no hubris to let us get in the way of sound judgment.
Yeah.
Apologies for invading your mind, but I had to know.
Are you still using this?
No, he would have stopped now.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess he feels the effect end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'd lower his gun. There's no way to garner trust. And I don't think he'd share. Just yet.
I think you see everyone else have a kind of a sigh of, oh my god, what the fuck just happened?
He also does a little flourish with his pistol where he spins it and then puts it away.
Shoots himself in the foot. Okay. So, you put away your gun, and I was about to say something then. Pretty gone. Right. The father would indicate, kind of after that, it's like, I'm gonna go. Unless there's any other questions, I'm gonna go back to Gwyneth here.
Yeah, I'll sort of nod to him. I'll sort of look to the vacant lot of the party. Maybe it's best you go with, and especially you, Abraham, and keep an eye on the state of things.
Okay. Sorry, it's not the right words. Okay.
I think before he'd go, I'd pull him aside and like, do you think she's got the brain rot? Do you think that's made it to the surface?
I'll have a look. I mean, if she has, I hope she's. I sad to say this, the only one. Can you imagine that spread?
I agree. I do agree.
I'll check.
If you would.
Of course. I bid you good luck. If you need me, being able to find me.
I give him sort of a pat on the shoulder, and I turn to Indestrum. Suppose we've got a meeting to go to, and no more spells.
Not on you. I apologize. I just... This fold... I'm sure you can appreciate when you have a life's work that you dedicate yourself to, you stop at nothing to find out whatever you can learn. But I do apologize for the intrusion.
I do, and it's even better when it crumbles away in front of you, destroyed by the people you trust.
And he'll leaning.
He's just got like this wide, happy grin on his face that's just pain and sorrow underneath.
He kind of leans in and goes, I'm sorry about your family.
Yeah, you see him twitch at that, but he doesn't say anything.
Okay. Are we time skipping to the meeting?
I've got nothing else to do. I think Garrick would stick with Erilyn at this point.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Auburn would spend the time sort of just helping where he can.
I guess the only thing Garrick would try and do is maybe see if anyone had, like, if there were any, anyone had caught whisper of his tribe, or like maybe try and recall where they last were, and if feasible.
Give me a disadvantage investigation check. I mean, it'd be hard to find any mentions, but maybe with the people we have here.
Yeah, I mean, it's very much not like a. Oh, I'm definitely going to find some investigation. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep. Wait, why is it a 14?
±1.
Oh, I did. That was advantage. Sorry, it was 2. I did the wrong roll. It's a 2.
I mean, I imagine like a lot of the details you give to them is about deserts and such. Most of these elves haven't seen a desert. And they'll kind of go, "What? No, sorry. I have no idea what you're on about."
Mm-hmm.
You suspect you're asking the wrong people during your checks. Like, I imagine you walk up to like a chef. Hey, not
French
the
guy.
chef, not the chef.
He goes up to the villagers from the underdog. Do you know who my tribe are?
Don't understand a fucking word. They're talking about
Just smiling and nodding.
He's big, isn't he? Yeah. Don't say no. Don't say no. Okay. So, is there anything anyone wants to do? You don't have to worry about time just for the second. If you're like casting spells beforehand, just tell me now.
I think I've already got mage armor up from last session because
Cool.
I've got a spell slot spent. Don't think in Death
Logically, we've done a long rest since then. I think because you guys were traveling. I think.
Well, the thing is
Yeah, no,
even
I
if
think
I've
we
had a
arrived
long
after the
rest,
last one.
I've got 3 out of 4 first level spells. I think I'm just casting mage because it's an 8-hour
Yeah. You can cast.
duration.
Got
So
you.
I think it's just a case of like I'm casting it every time I can. Yeah. Other than that, Garrick's done his thing. We know, and then yeah, he'll go back and find Erilyn and the dad and mum and all that.
course.
Abraham, I guess, is sticking with them.
Yeah. I,
Yes.
mean, I imagine Abraham's kind of just watching over the sick.
Yeah, Industrium's not got anything else other than I'd say maybe he would like clean himself up a bit because he's probably a bit dirty and with using prestidigitation,
Yes. Okay.
and then we'll try and help clean up Auburn as well. In his clothes will make him look a bit more. I don't know, like try and help him look bodyguard-like.
Oh, I mean, I've got potions that will literally transform my appearance.
Oh, fair.
Are you taking those potions?
I will once we go to the meeting. I would
Of
also
course.
like to
I think
have
yeah.
detect magic just before we go in.
Yeah, sure.
Ow.
That's fair. And I think the only thing Industrium will ask Auburn is, do you have any way to communicate quietly between each other?
I don't. Unfortunately.
Listen, I know that this was an invasion last time, but I could use detect thoughts on you again this time just to read your thoughts just to kind of hear what you're thinking in the time, as opposed to probing deep, just get a sense of what you think, how you think we should act. I will not do it if you are not comfortable with that. But that's the only thing I can think of in a way to kind of, for you to let me know what you're thinking. Unfortunately, I won't be able to.
From what we've heard, this meeting sounds more like it's these guys are meeting up and there's just going to be a bunch of fucking gagglers watching.
Imagine it, if you probably would find out details. Imagine it as
But yeah,
the way the hunters kind of meet up is they kind of light a large fire in the middle of this kind of, I'd say Colosseum kind of thing. No,
It's more like an open forum type.
Yes.
Okay.
We might not need to do that then. We might be able to get away with just speaking to each other.
Fair enough. I just wanted to make sure we weren't gonna say anything that we don't want others to hear.
Yes.
But
Go.
if it's quiet enough or loud enough for us to communicate, then I think that we'll be fine.
So, in that case,
I think I'll bring Rain with us as well.
okay, Ray will join you. You think you see a few weary hunters during this time? Not like like drawing weapons on her, but like oh Christ, she's out again.
She's made a reputation for herself.
So, as you get to this meeting hall, where are you sitting? Like, as I say, imagine it's kind of like they've created the steps, and they've got some nice kind of wooden chairs on there. It looks like there's some levers on there as well. And at the bottom of the pit is a fire with someone sitting in the kind of chair opposite, right next to the fire. Looks like it's Orion.
I've got to say, every part of me wants to reveal myself to these guys. And just be like, fuck you. But I think we'd probably have to stay as far away as possible.
Cool. So sitting around the top of the pit.
I don't know, but then we might not hear.
I think Indestrum would work us to be. I mean, is it like everyone's sitting in seats, or are they like actually on the ground in around the fire?
Seats. Like as I say, it's kind of like a circular. You know the old kind of, I can't remember what they're called. They're not colosseums. They are
Arenas?
amphitheaters.
Oh,
Hmm.
okay.
Picture that one scene in Sword Art Online at the very beginning.
Yes, that is probably the best description of it. But,
I was just going to go Final Fantasy, but
it's a bit more cozy.
Yeah.
That's it. It's more like, it's not chairs properly, but it looks like they've kind of like folded up like cloths and levers so they can sit on them essentially.
okay. And then is it like everyone's facing the stage or in circular?
Circular around the middle, aside from there's like one area where you can basically walk in, if that makes sense. So
Yeah.
there's like one exit in and out. Or I suppose you could jump out of the edges of the amphitheater.
Would you say it's like if you sat at the back, you'd hear nothing and struggle to hear, or is it most people are sitting near the front anyway?
It would
Or is
be
it being
harder to
circular?
hear, but it wouldn't be impossible, if that makes sense. Like maybe you miss a guy if they're talking quietly.
Maybe sit in the middle then, not drawing too much attention, but sitting prominent enough to be able to hear most, if not all.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah, like, are the Pochangian people here when we arrive?
Yes.
Maybe we sit behind them.
No, sorry. You said Bolshanian. No, they're not here yet.
No, they're not here. Okay.
Okay.
But yeah, maybe we take up residence behind them.
As you walk in, like there are some. It does look like you don't. They're not set up yet. It looks like they're probably setting up seats in the middle of the amphitheater for them, like
Okay.
next to. Basically, on the floor, on the ground level, there's what I say, this large giant fire pit. It looks like there's like Orion is already sitting down on a seat next to the fire, like tending to the fire, and it looks like there's
Okay.
other seats there. Like so, it looks like those are like the main people of the function are sitting down in the middle.
Gotcha. I think. And so, is there any other guests here yet?
Yes, they've started kind of pouring in.
Would I recognize any like tabards or like house like families or anything like if they? You know, like
Distinctly not.
okay.
You notice that none of the like manor guard or the like guards of the lords are here. Like, it looks like it is purely. There's random elves and such. You know, there's people who looks like they're
Yeah.
coming for the conversation. Kind of near the front rows, there's more of the hunters, and you think it looks like the closer down to the bottom it is. It looks like it's the kind of higher levels of hunters. From what you can gather, like they look like they've got like more gear on, or they look like they've got like kind of ornaments. Not even just ornaments. Maybe they've got like hunting pelts on. That just seemed a bit more exquisite, if that makes sense. So,
And there's no one from like the northern lands. that I
oh
would-
god, no.
It's not gone that far then.
No.
Sorry, can I just do one thing retroactively?
Yeah, sure.
As sort of the day was going, can I try and get from some of the hunters and just like maybe some of the higher ups what the sort of direction that this nation wants to go
Agenda?
in is? Yeah, the agenda. How do they feel about the state of the world? What do they want besides, the obvious supplies and stuff?
So, from what you gather, there is some contradictory things. It's not as though it's a unified whole. And you suspect
Yeah.
that's probably one of the reasons why they're having this forum, is to discuss
Put to
what
bed.
the best action is and possibly have a vote. Maybe. Like, you hear whispers of that. It looks like from the more veteran hunters, they want to become a more militaristic state, in a way. Like, they have fallen, and the lords have failed them. They are a lot of people who died, and basically they don't want to have that happen. They need to recuperate their strength and make sure that no one else can attack them during this time of weakness. I mean, if any other armies walked in, it would be a fucking field day for them. Sorry, give me 1 second. The dog's scratching the door. Hello, what do you want? Retard. Really? Right, in bed. Sorry. Continuing onwards. Sorry about that. There are more of a kind of. It looks like they want to start gearing up. They want to maybe start doing kind of like national service for the elves, like trying to make them into more warriors. Try to reclaim some of their lands if they can. It seems like it's quite tough at the second. They just don't have the forces. It seems like a lot of them died during the initial invasion of the spiders, so they're kind of trying to recuperate some of their strength. But yeah, it's trying to just make themselves more respected, and also conglomerate all the elven, like because previously the elven lands were split to 5, conglomerate them all into one, making them like kind of the order of the hunt is the elves now.
Okay.
Where did you decide to take a seat? Is it middle? You say?
Yeah, somewhere kind of like middle, so we're not like stacking out like a sore thumb, but not right at the back.
Of course. And did you say you were taking a potion? Are you taking that?
Yes,
in the end?
I'll be transforming. I think we should arrive fashionably late. Like not before it started, but once people are here.
Of course. I appreciate that.
'Cause I'll only have 20 minutes on the potion.
Potions. Can I have? And I say this with advantage. Don't worry about that. Can I have a
So straight roll.
performance check? From the way for you.
And can I have ritual cast
Detect magic.
detect
Yes,
magic
I appreciate
for when
that.
we arrive? Yeah. So
Of course. I'm happy
that's
with that.
performance, you say?
Yes.
Oh baby, it's 10.
Cool. And Deshram?
Sorry, 2 seconds.
Of course.
Yeah. I don't even know what I'm doing. What was it you needed from us?
Performance.
Performance, of course. Was it straight?
Yes, please. Well, no, advantage. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Well, that's
It-
16.
That's because Bailey said it was straight because obviously he's got disadvantage.
I am poisoned.
16 then.
16. Perfect. So you sit down. I mean, it's not the perfect performance, but like you are blending into the crowd still. You can from what you can gather. And at one stage, it gets kind of busy. Obviously, not many. Don't worry about the time for that. I'll make sure that. Yeah, I imagine you take the potions at the right time in that regard.
Yeah. Sorry. The only other thing I wanted to have was the eye, sort of above us.
Oh yeah, the Raven will kind of be, keeping watch over.
Sure.
Just trying to see what the range on the beams is. I want it in that range.
Yeah.
Unless
I
it's
think-
stupidly short.
I think it was 120. I can't remember exactly the range.
I
I'll have to
think
double check that.
That's what the true sight is. So that's probably correct. I'll try and find- Yeah, it's 120.
Cool.
So yeah, I'll have it 120 feet up.
Of course. In that case, can you do a stealth roll for your Raven? And the eye's got set stealth.
Oh yeah, I would say the Raven's not really being stealthy. It's just there.
Ah!
Ah?
Oh.
You see some of the hunters. Come on!
All the arrows. Moose. Oh.
The thing is, it'll just sit there, just like picking at its wings, just like when people goes like, shrugs with its wings.
So, what you would hear at the start is the fire has now been lit, and it seems to be quite ceremonial. Everyone sit down. It's like you hear a kind of gong, and the fire is lit by Orion, who kind of call out to the crowd. It seems quite ceremonial as a kind of thing. Tonight, I am going to be the firekeeper, leader of this round of questioning. Food and drinks will be provided afterwards, excluding rations, just because we felt maybe a need for it. Tonight, we are going to be discussing the potential allyship or purchasing of resources from Polchania. We have tonight, you can see him like pull out a piece of paper. Tonight we have Inquisitor Ortiz of the Templars, and we kind of see him look at the paper for a second as you can see him mouth a word, a bit confused. Wait, do you have the observatory or my mental with that, Oberon?
I don't think so.
No, sorry, I don't know why I'm thinking of that. You kind of see him mouth. It's like, right, and we also have Devan the Prick from the Will of the People.
I feel like Indestra will struggle to like hold back a giggle, like put his hand in front.
Like it looks like he's heard the name for the first, like he knows the first name. He's never heard the full title.
Yeah.
And
Is it the whole Bickus Dickus situation?
essentially, yeah, it you do see a few of the hunters kind of stifle a laugh as well. Definitely. What? And it's like, would you please welcome them to the stage? And you see two figures walk in. As you see the two figures walk in, one of them is, and you've seen them before, the Templars, kind of wearing. This guy's wearing chain armor, with kind of reddish robes on his back. He seems to be holding onto a mace on his like hip, but doesn't. It looks a bit more ceremonial as a kind of thing. It's a bit strange, like it's kind of like golden. And to the right of him, you see someone in very fine cloths, very loose wearing clothes. You also two things. You see everyone. You see. Can you have a perception check out of the two of you?
Can the Raven give one as well?
Yeah, sure.
Though then again, I can't telepathically communicate, so it's up to you if it would see it, but not necessarily I would know it.
I'd say that Oberon.
You,
If you tell me what your perception checks are after, I'll tell you what you see and what you have.
Mine is 16.
16.
6 and 10 for the Raven.
In addition, what you see is something light up on him as he walks in this.
Okay.
And you do notice briefly, kind of getting kind of confused and looking down for a second. Oberon, what you actually notice is he's got like a choker underneath his clothes. It's kind of hard to see, but you can sometimes see like a thing. And this choker seems to have 6 orbs on it. 5 of them are dark. One of them lights up literally as he walks
Pistols. I make the eye fly away.
in. Right. What you notice?
What
you
was
get a
this
detect.
guy's name? Sorry.
Just 1 second.
Sorry.
Your detect magic does pick up on this thing. Also, as you fly your eye away, it doesn't turn off. You asking for his name?
Well, not asking out loud. Just did we get his name or?
Yeah, Devan the Prick.
How's that? The first bit spelled?
Devan.
Devan.
Yeah.
The prick.
Yeah. The other thing, and I'll say just Oberon picks this up. You've met this guy. It stings in your head for a second. You've met him. As he walks in, you notice he's an half elf. And the last time you saw him, you're pretty sure you saw him wear a wedding dress as you were leaving Polchania.
You have got to be shitting me.
And
Oh, not this guy. I would lean over to Indestrum. That man is a very powerful caster. But he he teleported away, right?
oh yeah, he used teleport.
Yeah.
He is stronger than I, that's for sure.
You know him?
I didn't think he was with them. Last I saw, he was gallivanting through a field in a wedding dress.
He kind of just turns his head at you like, with the very expression of what the fuck.
And Oberon is mimicking that facial expression.
Hear me 1 second. This man is going to do, like, as I say, he looks at his necklace.
I'll also sort of, while I'm saying stuff, I'm fairly sure he knows about, and I gestured to my face.
He's going to do a perception check.
I'm really hoping that he doesn't spot us.
I had you guys rolling performance, didn't I? Yeah.
Yeah, we rolled. Mine was a 12 something?
I think yours was a 16, wasn't it?
12. Oh no, yeah, 16 because it was advantage. Sorry,
Mine
yeah,
was
16.
10. Regrettably.
So, you see him kind of look up amongst the crowd, and you think he's pretty good at this, from what you can gather. Like, you know, it looks like he's fairly experienced as a kind of adventurer. I mean, as you've seen before, he's quite a powerful caster as well. He does have a loot on his back as you're looking at him as well.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Sorry.
And you see him kind of like very, very carefully like peer over the crowd. And you think, Oberon, he seems to look over you and stop just for a second. And then keeps looking. But there's something. You don't know what. He doesn't seem to call you out, he doesn't seem to point anything, he just seems to look over and pause just for a second.
Can I do an insight on him to see if
Oh,
I reckon
boy.
he's spotted me? Basically.
Yeah,
How
sure.
how risky is detect thoughts right now?
I mean, I've got detect magic up, right?
You do have detect magic.
Give me a second, this guy's got a different mod for that. Nat 20.
Yeah, no, I can't imagine them getting much. I think what I think.
No, he kind of just like it's a perfect fucking kind of like he's just looking over the crowd and doesn't say anything to Templar, doesn't say anything. He just he looks up and looks towards like where he's supposed to be sitting. And it sits down, kind of cross-legged on this thing. There's not chairs at this bottom here, and you see Orion is kind of sitting cross-legged, poking the fire, making sure like it's still got wood on it. All right. Thank you for joining us, the two of you. I respect that this was a long way, and I know that it can't have been easy travels. If anyone has any objections to this meeting, please say now. Otherwise, we are going to start discussing.
Just 2 seconds here. I'm gonna cast detect magic, but not detect force. But I'm not actually casting. I'm just testing something in Foundry. So when you see it pop up, that's not me doing actually.
Yeah, sure. I appreciate that. All right.
Can I just say, because his necklace didn't stop glowing, I would have moved the eye back to where it was.
Of course.
Yeah.
So, I can give a summary of what is being mentioned here. But I will give an introduction just as the Deb and a prick, just to begin with.
Okay.
I'm glad you appreciate his name.
I say every time, like, if it's ever mentioned, Indestron will be struggling, like, be stifling that little giggle.
Greetings, hunters of the Order. I thank you for letting me join you. It's sad that a meeting like this has to be started with such a tragic disaster. But hopefully, after this meeting, we can discuss what we can do here. I'll be happy to let anyone. Of course, we are happy to provide assistance, but obviously for the right price. He seems to be quite like an economic kind of guy. Gabba. But yes, I have brought along my friend here. This is protection. He's going to turn towards the Templar. What's everyone's passive insight again? Anyone above 12?
Yes.
Yeah. Here, this Templar he turns to, he says he's his friend. You can gather that the Templar kind of doesn't seem to be entertained by him.
This does not shock me.
Yeah. But can you call that? But yes. So the details start coming through, and obviously the meeting starts happening. Questions are raised. It's not as though, like, it feels like normally this would be kind of a big closed door, but it looks like the hunter's quite open with these kind of transactions. It looks like it's a discussion on buying armor and swords, specifically for those who are inexperienced with them. It looks questions are raised about potentially arming and some of the internment camps, and after they are they are scouting out areas to send out these internment, like one camp at a time, potentially as small little legions in a way, to possibly try reclaiming certain areas. They also discussed potentially as a kind of a greater cost, potentially giving up some of the lands. This is less with met with less optimism, but it looks like they were Potania was suggesting, because they now have an open border with the Fallen Lands, why don't they, as kind of a conglomerate and kind of an allyship, if they take up the lands towards all the way to the crater, they can watch over it and prevent any spiders coming out.
I'm sure.
And obviously they're very, very truth-telling with this. This is more relayed by the Templar, who is discussing the land takings. It looks like the Devan is there very much for the kind of economics of like trade goods and such. The army is very much been kind of organized by the Inquisitor Ortis. Is there any points that you guys are doing anything? You're not being confronted or anything like that. You guys, if you want to, you can just sit there and listen.
How long does the meeting go for?
I'd say it'd go for 15 minutes, and then voting starts.
Okay.
So, unless obviously interjections are happening, but you'd see Orion kind of call out to the crowd after these kind of initial negotiations discussed. So, that is what's on the plate. We are going to reconvene tomorrow evening, but we want to have an initial vote just to see, as we normally do, to see the initial kind of gauge on what people are thinking. We're gonna have another meeting tomorrow night, see how they are feeling about it, and how you guys are feeling about it. But again, we thank you for joining us tonight. We are sorry that it seems to be a long way, but we want to make sure that everyone is happy with this arrangement. In that case, as I said, there is food and drink available for everyone. I don't know if any kind of turns towards the two of them. I don't know if you want to take any personal questions. We'll be kind of relegating this to that if you desire. Otherwise, you can grab some food, go back to your camps or to the any huts for the hunters. And you see he kind of makes a very ceremonial, like kind of pouring of water onto the fire so it kind of goes out. And he picks up his bow. He doesn't really give a bow or anything. He's like, all right, see ya. And just walks out.
While they're having that conversation, just so they're actually doing something, let me roll a thing. I will try and make it as discreet as possible, and I'm going to lean over to Indestrum. You don't know me. I'm pretty sure he knows me. And I will stand and leave once they have their little goodbye.
So you lean over and say, I don't know me.
Yeah, I'm saying to Indestrum that pretend you don't know me. I'm pretty sure they're going to follow me effectively.
So
I got an 11 on that, whether they see me do that.
You notice they give me an insight check again. Sorry.
No, that's cool. No, I don't.
Let me roll, see what happens.
I got a natural one, Loka.
I just realised I was on. Can I do a perception check as well to see this?
Give me an insight check.
Insight?
Yeah.
Yay! Roll.
17. The other thing I do say to Auburn is like, I can help.
You think this isn't Destron, by the way, definitely not
Mhm.
Auburn. This Devan seems to be very, very orchestrated with his movements. You think that he's had much practice with discussions and kind of telling lies or keeping secrets. Like he looks like he's very versatile in this kind of thing. But for once, his kind of mask cracks when he looks. Like it looks like he was kind of trying to side eye Oberon again. Just keeping an eye on what he's doing, really. But you see him do it. You see him kind of just make a slip and kind of just look over a bit too much. He then tries to look front and center again. And you see him also send off the Templar. Like he says, "Oh, I should be fine to get back to camp tonight. Why don't you head off? I feel like kind of just looking in some night skies. Maybe meet some people around the camp." And you see him kind of wander off into the woods. Yeah. So what were you doing, Auburn? To confirm?
So as Auburn, well, so while they're saying goodbye, I would have said that to Indestrum, and then I would have gotten up and left.
Cool.
I will sort of go behind a tent or something. So make it obvious that I've gone behind the tent. I will then drop my transformation and teleport, and then drop my transformation. So it looks like I've just gone around the tent and vanished.
Of course. You don't think you see anyone following? From what you can gather, you don't see any particular people. I say even with your passive perception, like it looks like you see the Templar wander off. You can even see the elf kind of wander off into the woods. He seems to sit down in the middle of the woods, just kind of looking up at the stars. Looks like he's just kind of sky glazing.
And I'll keep the eye sort of bobbing around above us, keeping an eye out. Yeah, I think I'd probably take the long way back to the to where the others are.
Okay. As you do so, are you doing anything in Destron? Just want to confirm.
I'd say Indestrum's kind of milling about the people, probably seeing who's there and if there's any other big power players, and maybe if there are any big players, would maybe introduce himself from the college.
Yeah. You do try, and they do. Some of them do talk to you. From what you can gather, a lot of these, like the power players in this group, are very much like the lords. You've not seen any of the lords around at all. You heard that some of them were in this encampment, but it's strange that they wouldn't have been invited to this kind of thing, even if they were not even doing it anymore. But it's strange that they weren't even showing up.
Right.
Some of the hunters will show some interest. You know, they have their own kind of form of magic in ways. But you think some of the more advanced stuff falls on deaf ears with them.
Okay.
So, in that case, does anyone do anything else?
Don't think Indestrum would do much. I mean, like, probably just find his way back to everyone in the tent after a bit.
Of course. So, both of you make your way to the tent. There is no other issues in the night.
Yeah, I think the only thing is I want a refresh from Abraham on what the will of the people is. It's been a while.
Of course. So, the will of the people is one of the. So, obviously, there is 4 sections of the government.
Yeah.
The will of the people is one of the ones that aren't affiliated with the church in any regard.
Okay, maybe they're not that bad then.
They are the ones who have made the Adventurers Guild. They seem to be more focused on the kind of daily living of humans in this country. They made the Adventurers Guild as a way to, one, generate an income from anyone passing through. Two, they do the trade of the land. They operate a lot amongst the Sapphire Roads and such, but they're very much the kind of minutiae of day-to-day living is handled by them.
Okay.
The big thing they do is the Adventurers Guild, but they're not.
What's
It's strange.
what's the relationship with the church? Is it strained or is it all right from when Abraham was
Surface level,
involved?
it's fine. Surface level, there is Adventurers Guild in every village, and there was even one in where Abraham was living in Hawen. But there's certain aspects where the church and other sections of the government have gotten frustrated with them because they will ask the adventurers to put out bounties and they would refuse. They seem to not really care about what the rest of the governments are doing. They very much seem to be very focused on themselves. But there is times they've worked together. For example, they organised a miners' guild for when they were mining out the what's it called? Old Keep mines.
Yeah, it's sounding to me like they want the same thing but for different reasons. Which still, in my eyes, makes him dangerous. I will definitely let everyone know that he 100% is aware that I have the eye. 100% was aware of that. His necklace lit up once he came near us. Whether it's because the eye was near or I was near, I don't know. I did move the eye away, but seemingly it didn't unlight. So it might be because I'm near and I'm the bearer of the eye. But yeah, with that, that's kind of what I want to do for the evening.
Perfect. Anything else from anyone?
Destron will speak with the college and just. I think before speak with the college, we'll talk to Auburn and say, I'm going to communicate with the college. Is there anything you wish me to tell them or not tell them?
Don't bring up the eye. As I said, that stays between us.
And Destron kind of goes, just takes a breath for a second. It's like, because, but to be fair, he never kept it quiet. You would have heard him already kind of mention it.
No, I know.
Oh,
But
did he mention it?
when Auburn fully explained what it is, he said this stays between us.
I got you.
For now, we don't know who wants it for what. So I'd rather keep it as secret as possible.
Okay. And yeah, and Destron will just speak with the college, tell them everything that's happened that night, who the people were that turned up, and unless the college has anything specific to say, he will say that he got some information on the vault, but needs time to comprehend what he's discovered. So he'll just say he's gathered some information, but not the specifics of what the information is.
Of course. They'll give you, I imagine they wouldn't give an in-depth one. It's very much the same kind of keep investigating. We'd like an update on if you're still around the area, on what the decision is between the elves and Polchania. That might be quite important to know.
Very well. I will stay as long as feasible.
Of course. No forcing. We're interested, but we don't need to. We'll probably find out with the grapevine anyway.
I mean, at the end of the day, we do have a family member here that we may be able to contact to get, if we do move off beforehand, who may be able to keep apprised of the situation and let us know.
Of course. Okay. If everyone wants to take a long rest,
Yay! I think that's the first long rest in a long ass time where the only thing that regenerated was a couple spell slots. No hit points were regenerated.
as you all wake up, I imagine you guys are kind of, I'd say, in these kind of army tents kind of things. Everyone's have comfortable beds in the world, but they're not awful. I mean, you have your own bed rolls, so I don't know if you prefer those.
Mhm.
Kind of on the floor, in the middle, there is a letter. Just sitting there, kind of plain white.
Is it addressed to Oberon, leader of the Kingdom Shadow?
No, it's blank. Does not address to anyone.
Oh. Yeah, Endestrum just will cast a detect magic on that. Wait, did I have it prepared today? No, I do not.
Oberon sits there for 10 minutes staring at the letter.
Now, do I even have detect magic is the question.
Magic shall be detected.
I don't even have detect magic. That's hilarious.
Nice.
Mm.
Yeah, I'll do detect magic there.
Okay.
He sits there ruminating for 10 minutes, looking at this letter.
As the 10 minutes pop off, there was magic. I'd say that you can probably see that, but it does not. There is no magic on it anymore. It looks like it was a form of. Let me just double check something. Conjuration.
But I don't think the letter itself is magical, but it was put here by magical means, is my assessment.
What does prestidigitation?
And I almost definitely know
Good.
who it's from.
Could Indestrum use his quarterstaff to kind of like use prestidigitation to kind of get the letter to come out and open before us all? I'll leave that to you, DM, to decide if it allows that kind of thing. Prestidigitation. You create one of the following.
I'll let me read it. Give it a second.
I can just do this, and then it's in the chat. So it's a sound 3 effect, light or snuff out a candle, clean soil object, chill, warm or flavor up to 1 cubic, make a color, small mark, create non-magical trinket, lose your item that can fit in your hand.
I'd say no. Sorry, it
Could I-
doesn't look like you have I'd argue that's more like a mage hand kind of situation. That.
Fair enough. It was just for fluff if we could do that. If not, that's fine then.
Well, you probably could blow away the letter.
I'm now imagining Oberon goes bomb diffuser mode. He pulls out his tinker's tools. He's like opening it with tweezers.
Okay. So, give me an investigation check if you're doing that.
Oh, hang on, I need to roll my saving throws. What's it called? First one is DC 10. Okay, I'm not poisoned from the first one. This one's a 15. Hey, I'm not poisoned! A fucking miracle! Investigation.
Yay!
20!
Whoa!
How do you kind of you don't activate it? There is a little latch in there. There's a little small mechanism, very small, very undetectable. It's very small. You're not sure what it does.
Son of a bitch, I was joking. I was fucking
Shit.
joking. Right, this is rigged. It's primed. Don't know what it does, but it's primed.
You also know it's not magical from Detect Magic.
It's not magical. I mean, I'm fully aware that that Polchenia have explosives. They were using them in the mines. I don't really have any spells that could like contain it while we open it.
Let me have a look. Industrium.
Or is the trigger like if you pull the letter out, it will go off type thing?
It seems if you open the envelope, it
You
will
open the
go off.
envelope. Okay, so if we lifted the actual envelope itself, it wouldn't.
No.
I can put it in rope trick.
I'm trying to think if any of these would actually help. I don't know if I could use magic missile to potentially cause the trigger to go off.
It'll fucking
far away?
annihilate the letter.
Oh no, I'm just thinking it just. I
No,
aim it right at the latch.
Here's how we get around it. I make it magic
I-
by doing one of my magical tinkerings on it, and then you magic missile it.
I think Garrick at this point would just kind of. I mean, I'm assuming everyone's there.
Just walks up and opens it.
He just go stand back.
Will Garrick open it?
Well, he'll lift it. He'll look at everyone's. Just say stand back.
I think everyone does.
Yeah, there's no arguments from Destrum or Bron.
I mean, probably take it outside.
Well, yeah, okay, we'll go outside. Garrick tells everyone to stand back and he'll open it.
Cool. As Garrick lifts up the envelope, he gets a poof of glitter directly in his face on his shirt.
Oh, there you go. If there was ever any doubt who it was from.
Garrick just turns around and goes, "They fucking glitter bombed us," and he just throws it to Oberon.
You notice that the glitter is sticking to him. He notices it's slightly, it looks like it's been glued, the glitter.
That bastard. What a bastard. I understand why they call him the prick. I'm kind of looking at Yarrick, stifling a laugh. I pick up the letter. And what does the letter say?
And Destrum will cast Prestidigitation on Garrick to clean him up.
I mean, like some of it is loose, but the fact that it, like normally prestidigitation when you're cleaning off is like blowing you off a wind.
Oh no, Prestidigitation allows you to clean or soil. Instantaneously clean or soil an object no larger than 1 cubic foot. So it would take some time, but.
I imagine he's just there, like it's like a leaf blower. Just...
Or it's like a little bit of rain to wash it out, a little bit of heating to kind of scrape the glue off, and a little bit of dry and blowing.
So you're able to clean up Garrick.
Yeah.
You're very happy, I'd argue.
No, he is not happy.
And on the letter, you see, congratulations! It was a pleasure to see you again. It's nice to see you've managed to make it to the Elven Lands. It's a very pretty area, in my opinion. But, if you want to have a chit chat today, I don't know, maybe catch over some tea. I'll be over at, and it'll give a address. It's like, if you don't know what it is, the camp guards have told me that they can tell anyone where that's going to be. My friend will not be joining me, but I'm going to say ta-ta for now. It's I'm hoping to see you there.
I fucking hate that letter because I can't tell if he knows.
I just love that. Maybe we should catch up over a cup of tea. Maybe come hang out.
Well, it's like the fact he sent his friend away, but also I was transformed. So does he know? And if he doesn't know, if I go near him, his fucking Lexus is gonna light up again. So he will know. I mean, we have to stay here at least another day before Sable gets here, right?
Yeah.
Maybe we just
mean,
go.
Industri-
Maybe we just go and speak with him.
I think Industrum kind of said, I think we should just get this over with. I don't think we can leave this place without him somehow catching up if he's as powerful as you say.
The rest of the group, shall we help? What's I imagine this is coming from probably Abraham. Yeah.
I think Erilyn should
Garrett-
stay here with her family.
Yeah, I think Garrick will kind of stay with Erilyn and continue his attempts to try and either get feelers out or just see if anyone's heard anything about it. Again, it can be like he just doesn't really make any progress, but he'd very much be sticking with Erilyn for now.
Out of curiosity, would Garrick have relayed to the rest of the group the afterlife situation? Not necessarily to go on to be aware. I was wondering the time he spent with them. Obviously,
Don't think he's gone into specifics about it. He's just said that it was wrong, it wasn't right, and
Gotcha.
no one's really asked him more about it since. And I
I'm
feel like
just
that's
checking.
an Abraham discussion. I feel like that's a discussion that I'd want to have when Milkshake's here.
Milkshake. Yeah, I can appreciate that. I just want to check.
From
But
the
yeah,
way I
no,
remember you
he's-
saying it, Auburn assumed you meant the pit.
Yeah, no, it was very much he wasn't specific. It was just you saved me. That wasn't right. It was wrong. That was about it.
Milkshake going to kick himself. We don't do the session next week, next 2 weeks. Right. So you as a party. Sorry. So what's the decision here? You're taking Milkshake along? Not Milkshake. Sorry, you're taking Abraham along.
Yeah, we'll take Abraham and Zoe's.
Cool.
And Aaron and Garrick will stay back.
I almost forgot. Let me roll my dice.
See what potions you get.
Yes, a 5 and a 1.
Not bad.
Let's see what they are. We have got a healing potion and a flight potion.
Nice. Cool. So, do you directly head straight to the tea party?
Why do you have to call it that?
Yeah, probably.
Reluctantly,
Should I make the eye do a little bit of a float, or should I just keep it on me?
The raven's going to perch on my shoulder at
Or
this
should I
point.
bag it? Maybe I should bag it.
Bang. How would that? Let's hope that doesn't go bad.
Well, if I make it float out and then I pop it in bag, maybe his thing won't light up, because it will not be here, right?
I mean, Indestron kind of says like, well, do we know what would happen if you put something like that in your bag?
I can't see why anything would happen. It's attuned to me. It's effectively just an item. I probably wouldn't be able to see out of it. Fuck it. I won't do that because it'll have to spend energy to do that. If this man kicks off, I think we're gonna need everything we've got.
So, anything else? Just want to check.
I mean, there's no point. I've got nothing. I mean, even if I change some prepared stuff around, is there anything that would actually help?
You're doing your mage armor, just to confirm, by the way.
The fact that you're asking me that makes me want to cast it. As a player, I would want to, but Indestrum would feel at ease right now. I guess he kind of look. Actually, what he would say is he would go to Auburn and is like, "How likely do you think that things will become heated or?"
Every time I've encountered the church, something has happened.
He casts it.
In Amaran, the city was taken. In Polchania, we were taken.
Yeah, he casts it.
So, you cast Mage Armor. Anything else from anyone?
No.
Cool. So, if you ask a guard, you are directed to a little cafe that seems to be existing. More like a I say it's cafe. Like I'm not trying to say like kind of a thing. It looks like it was a area for hunters to congregate. They get given like a tea, maybe kind of like nettles or something like that, or maybe kind of like black coffee, kind of somewhere just to sit down for like a break. And you are led to a kind of more like you are told about there being like you can go sit out behind it.
Okay. Does it? Can I, as we're sort of going in, can I see the Templar anywhere, or anything
Give me a perception check.
of that ilk? That is a 22.
No,
And you know,
nothing.
not having disadvantage is fantastic.
What's
I will say one thing you do see this man. It doesn't look like he's looking at you. It looks like he's pouring himself a cup of tea, literally. But what you will see is the area he's picked looks like it's far enough away from everyone, but it's remarkably in the open. It seems to have like picked a kind of a field where it looks like no one can, it can be seen. But you don't think it can be heard by anyone unless they're standing close.
Okay. One last question. Has it been a week since we left the hole?
No, 5 days.
5 days. Okay.
No, 6 days, sorry.
6 days. Almost.
But very close to being a week.
Okay.
Make your fucking mind up, Doc.
No.
Okay. What do you do? Do you approach? Do you? You can see him. He's not as though he's. He looks like he's concentrating.
Yeah, I mean, I was.
and Destrin would just approach, but wouldn't say anything. He would just sit down.
I think if a Jason sat down first, he'd be really fucking confused at who you are.
Who the hell are you?
Hello.
No,
He takes a moment, like even with his kind of skills of hiding his face, even he just takes a moment of, it's nice to meet you. I'm Devon. And puts his hand up and shake.
I Destrin and nose in, and I kind of flick the cape a bit and shake his hand. I hail to say, well met, friend.
Yeah, I mean, I think a Hawthorne would come at the same time, but he wouldn't sit. He would stay standing.
I mean, I'm assuming he's sitting, right? I did hear that bit right.
Yeah, sitting.
I was gonna say if he's not sitting, Indestrin would stand, but if he's sitting, then yeah, Indestrin would just join him.
He's definitely just sitting there. So did you say you were joining them, Auburn?
Yeah, I would have walked up with Industrum.
Ah, perfect. Auburn, it's good to see you.
Indestrin leans over and goes, I think he knows you.
Oh yeah, of course. We met before.
After all, I am the leader of the Kingdom Shadow, and I sort of bow at him.
Indestrin at that point
And
just
I
has
glare.
shock.
There's just this death glare that I'm shooting this man.
Well, all of us have to have a hobby, I suppose. But since here, I suppose you've been quite busy, so maybe you want to have a rest. I've got some nice tea here. Hunters make a pretty special brew.
Well,
No, I imagine Abraham and Zoy's are walking up. And it gives a nice smile.
no,
to
we
them.
left Abraham behind, didn't we?
We brought Abraham and Zoe.
Oh, we brought Abraham. Fair enough.
And Zoy's.
Sorry, it
gives
was
a big-
Garrett,
it-
Karen, and
Yeah, he gives a big smile to them. He's like, oh, yeah, welcome. So, do you want some tea?
Oh, no, Oberon's just standing there, glaring at this man.
Well, if you want to take a seat, it's available. Just wanted to see how you guys were doing. I mean, it's been a while since we separated. I think, what, 3 weeks? Maybe longer? 1 month, I think? Not sure anymore. It's hard to keep track of.
I will say, while we were away from him, when I did that perception check, was his thing still glowing?
While you're away from him, no. I'll say, this is something I forgot to mention. As you walk closer to him, you see that, as you set close, you see the thing go white. And as Zoid and Abraham get closer to him, the white, only on the one orb, goes different shades. Like, it kind of seems to get deeper and deeper. Like, kind of maybe darker.
Oh.
Not darker, more red, if that makes sense.
Did it glow red? It didn't glow red before, did it?
No,
No,
it was
yeah.
just light.
Yeah. I say glowing red, it's more like getting pinker, if that makes sense.
Okay, lighter hue.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not the artifact then. Maybe the bastard's just tracking us. Fucking weirdo.
Industrial Mill kind of seeing that going. Well, I am intrigued as to why you called us here. I mean, I get the sense you know Oberon, but I'm also curious as to what it is you wish to say.
Oh, nothing in particular.
No one calls a tea party with no agenda.
How dare you not spend your time in high class? People call
I
tea times for anything. There's
I spend more time in high class to know that there is always an agenda.
Yeah, Oberon's just agreed.
I do not know what you're on about. I have called you simply because you were faithful travel companions. You kept me nice and safe during my weaker times when I woke up with that wedding dress, which was a real nightmare. You know, it's I didn't have many of my tools, but oh well. But I called you just to have a quick chat. You know, I thought maybe it'd be nice to meet up again.
Oh, it's interesting you knew we were here and knew where we were staying.
Well, but of course, I just asked the Orion. You can't point to it.
And you just happened to think, oh, are these 5 random people here?
I mean, you don't even know myself, and yet you still extended an invite.
Well, to be fair, I didn't. I just got to
I
extend the
think you
invite to
just
the
happened to
10.
be there in Destro.
No, Destrom is putting his foot down on that one.
I'm important too.
Oh, sure.
I'm part of the story, damn it!
No, I asked one of the hunters give you the letter if possible, and that's kind of.
You'll forgive me if I don't trust those affiliated with the faith.
So
I
may I
suppose
ask-
you're not wrong, but I wouldn't say I'm exactly affiliated with the faith. I'm not a church-loving man or anything like that. But just, party members. I believe you have one with you yourself, Abraham here.
He's more than proved himself trustworthy. You, on the other hand, far from.
I'm offended to hear it, Auburn, after all the fights we got involved with.
The one fight
And it was a brutal fight.
against lizard men that had no idea what was going on.
Indeed. And we fought valiantly. Oh well.
For some reason, I do still have the crown.
And Destrom will just kind of whisper into Oberon's ear, he's more eccentric than me.
As I said, we found him in a field in a wedding dress.
Well, some things happen on a night that we can't all be proud of or recall. He kind of looks off to the side.
Nevertheless, if this was just a kind of a polite extension. If you had any questions for me, he gives a kind of a slight enunciation for that. But if you don't want to join for the tea, I'd like maybe possibly to have more quiet.
And Destrom will pick up a cup and will turn and go.
So, sorry, can I just double check who is this guy with? Which group?
This guy is with the will of the people.
Will of the people.
He's the leader of the will of the people, actually.
So, what brings the leader of the will of the people this way? I understand that there are discussions of trade, but surely an emissary or someone on your behalf could have done that dealing in your stead. Seems a bit.
Well, I wanted to respect the. I mean, I knew something about the elves. I pride myself of. Well, obviously, my father was an elf. I pride myself in trying to know the knowledge of the different groups in this, and the leader himself is a places big importance of an individual going face to face in their transactions, which is why he runs the forum. I decided that it's not as though I'm at any harm. I can get home pretty quickly if I wanted to. It's not as though there's any negatives to me coming. And I got to see this nice kind of luscious land and to have this beautiful tea. Do you know there's no scones or anything like that?
Can I do an insight on him now that I'm feeling a bit better?
Yeah, sure.
That's a 19.
Give me 1 second. Oh, we actually beat. You don't think he's lied to you in regards to like the words he said?
Lying through a mission.
Yeah, like you suspect he's, and you suspect he's slightly tense in a way. Like you think while he's playing very much playing the kind of the casual observer, just the polite man, obviously inviting to a tea party. He's not an idiot. He knows that you guys are very suspicious of him, and he's very much. You suspect that he's holding something under the table.
So, Devan, I must ask you, what
Devon,
is your
sorry.
Devon? What is your actual title? Because I somehow feel like what I heard last night isn't quite the right pronunciation.
Devon the Prick. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Very well, Devon.
I'm starting to be a very close friend.
What do you know of the College of Sustain?
You see him kind of turn around just very briefly. Like he's got like a kind of a bag, and he kind of pulls out a kind of a folder. College of Sustain. College of Sustain. So you kind of flick through. Small college, some influence around the world. In the country of where is it again? Yeah. No, sorry. You just told me it's Sustain. Of course. Sorry about that. I don't have many notes. It seems like you're magical
So you're
investigators.
unfamiliar with our history, then?
Well, yeah, we obviously. I'm pretty sure you know we have the Voice of the Heretics in Voltania. It's a respected magical college. We've not really had to outsource at any stage, especially not to a college such as yourself.
While you may think they're respectable, I have other feelings towards them. But aside from that,
Those are racist.
aside from that, though, so you
Everyone scoffs at him saying that.
you know enough that, as you said, we pride ourselves on the investigation of artifacts in the world and trying to understand this world that once existed. I'm just curious as to what tales you know of the vault, because a man as well versed as yourself must have some inkling. And well, I found these fellows. I've actually come out in search of any information pertaining to the vault to ascertain whether it is real or not, and to
The Vault.
try and gather.
Wow, it's interesting to see stuff. I mean, I looked for it. My youth, of course, anyone did. Like magical powers are granted a wish, but I never found anything. Sadly,
I'll have
So,
another
I
insight
don't
check,
really know
thanks.
Yeah, I'm inside checking.
I done that one, come on.
Can I? Do you want me to assist, like to help Auburn, or just do my own insight, Luca?
Do your own insight. I think with
Okay.
insight, it's a bit different. I think it should be kind of personal.
16.
I mean, if he's lying, he's not giving anything away.
Hmm. Well, I mean, I'm less curious about. I mean, during your travels, what? I mean, I'm just curious from one researcher to someone who's clearly well versed. What information you did ever gather? I mean, I would love to exchange notes with you. Maybe see what information you did garner.
Well, don't think I don't even know if I have any left. I think they were before the war when I did these. Sadly, not much. I know that the vault existed. I know that it was created by Lord Arridge, back yonks ago, and that's about it really. Maybe my brethren's in the shepherd's flock. Might be better to talk to you about that. You ever met them?
Is that some sort of attempt at humour?
So you haven't met? Of course you met Abraham. Sorry.
When was the last time you went to the capital?
Oh, let me think. Last Friday, I went there.
Are you aware that they tried to execute me?
Really? No, never heard anything.
Are you thick?
He is
No,
not
no.
a thick man. He is playing the fool, and he thinks that he can take us for fools by playing this part. And he does play it very well, I must admit. But I have no idea whether it is worth entertaining this fool any longer.
Well,
See,
I
you
am
may
sad you
be
feel that
smart
way.
and you may be powerful, but I'm no fool either. So you either drop the facade and talk to us with your true self, or we shall be on our way as we do have business to attend of our own.
and in the case, why don't you sit down so we can start talking? As
He
the
looks
respectful
down like
group.
I am already sitting.
I'm more mean to the rest of your group.
I leave that entirely up to Abraham and Joyce.
Because coming over to me and arguing with me is probably causing some suspicious eyes. To the stage that my friends, the Templars, might start looking over here. I have potentially tried to distract him away from that.
As I said, if you do not wish to talk to us face to face, then we shall conduct our business that we have to attend to.
I will
If
consider.
you're willing.
I will consider playing your game, but first, let me ask one question. And I point to his necklace.
Oh.
What is that?
It's interesting little trinket. I picked it up years ago. Kept me safe for many years. You know, kind of being a diplomat in many areas. I assign groups to every pearl. If a group comes within 30 feet of me, it lights up. Just makes me known, so I don't get attacked by a random bloody thing hitting me in the head or something like that. It's happened before. Giants clubs hurt like a hell. You know that, right?
Can I insight that as well?
Yeah, sure.
That's a 21.
Insight
Never done so many insight rolls, goddamn.
20.
Fuck this guy.
Oh,
He
21.
seems quite open with this. Like everything else he's said, like he's kind of like veiled it behind a lie or a secret. That seemed to be the most truthful thing he has said so far.
Okay.
Just the fact that it's 6 fucking pearls, man. Fuck you, Luca. Stop sowing the seeds. Yeah, Auron will sort of, squint at him like he doesn't quite trust him, but he will very slowly take a seat.
They will pour you everyone out a cup of tea.
not drink it.
He didn't expect you to. You actually notice he kind of like short, like he pours out some, which doesn't fill up the cup. You suspect he's saving the tea. So, I know who you are. Amusingly, I didn't know who you were when I first met you. I legitimately woke up in that fucking field because I had just gone to a very, very aggressive party. But I do know who you are. I have nothing against you myself. You've managed to piss off the Arch Shepherd like nothing fucking else.
When you say you know who we are, let me ask, do you know who we are, or do you know who they tell you we are?
Kind of flicks open the a few pages in his booklet. We have Abraham from the town Hawen, burned down. Was a Goliath from, I believe, Cefax. I have some information here. But nothing much else from him there, or not much more data. I know that you are a ex-criminal from Polchania. Definitely not the king, but the fucking leader. I have a few other notes. I don't know much about Indestrum here.
And you won't.
Oh, that's yeah. Who else have I got? We got Zoes, coming from a destroyed goblin village. It was hard to find anything about him. I'll give you that. And Erilyn coming from here. Her beloved father, and sadly, his mother got injured. Her mother, sorry. I've got a few details scattered here and there. I suspect you have links to an outer world, Oberon. I found some rumours.
I look at my hands. What?
Oh. It's not true.
An interesting lord that used to have. I had a talk with an individual fairly similar to you. I believe he called himself your brother. But, c'est la vie.
Yeah, Auburn bristles at that.
So, I think I know some details. Some more are being clarified in the future, but to be fair, I've only had 4 weeks to get this much. I presume that does well enough for finding out if I know you.
Yeah, I just wanted to know if you thought I was the leader of the Kingdom Shadow still, basically. Because quite frankly, that was nonsense.
I know who the leader of the Kingdom Shadow is. Don't worry about that.
They didn't put any effort into that lie.
No. They don't need to. Who doesn't trust the Templars?
I raised my hand.
Aside from yourself.
I imagine the rest of the table also raises their hand.
Valid point. I'll concede that to you. So, I know that there's this vault. I was involved in the mining operation. I even was the one who took the contract to the mining. I knew they were looking for something. I wasn't aware it was the vault at the time. After the attack on the miners themselves, which I felt very sorry for them. You shouldn't have attacked them that aggressively. They obviously had a quick look into stuff. So, I had a quick talk. I've had a quick look. I genuinely don't know much about this vault. I don't know where any. I know that there has been some big commotion since a kidnapping a while back. Something that they found. I'm not sure what it was. I don't know. No one talks to me. So I'm kind of in the dark with most of these things. And I know you know stuff, which is the main reason why I wanted to have a quick chat. Because, one, we met before. I knew you were running. I didn't know you were running at the time. But you were running from something. So I was curious where you ran to. with all of that, is there any questions for me? I'm curious to see.
Hmm.
You are a powerful mage, correct?
I wouldn't say mage was my main title, but I do use some powerful magics.
Are you able to help our friend?
Like, whom are we talking about?
Well, there's
Abraham.
only one person that's got an issue, a major issue right now. Her mum seems like she could do with some help. And maybe we could call that a gesture of in good faith might help us trust you a little bit more.
I don't think you should trust me. I merely just wanted to talk. Wanted some confirmations as well, who left within the party, which I have now got.
Does seem your information is a bit lacking in places. And it's funny that you should be a leader and yet you find that no one talks to you and you have an incomplete picture.
Well, to be fair to
that
me,
makes me...
have you ever worked with different sections of government? Trying to get information from another one is a nightmare.
But then a man who supposedly is in top with much influence, it wouldn't be hard to have your own people in places to feed you a full picture. So either you're lying to us about the picture you have, or you're not very well connected in your own government, and maybe, at a guess, you might not have a strong power inside the government. Even though you may have a leadership title, doesn't mean that the people work for you. And I can only draw one conclusion from this conversation, is that potentially you're looking to us. Yes, you've asked us to exchange information, but I'm wondering if maybe you want us to continually feed you information. Become your informants and your spies in the world.
Well, if you're offering, I'll take it.
There was never an offer. I don't know you. These seem to know you better than I, but even then it seems passable at most.
And what do you all think? I'm going to zero with like Oberon and the rest of the group.
I think I don't trust anything about Poljania.
Understandable sentiment. We are a divided nation, as you say. I don't know much about the comings and goings of the government. I can't help you with the other sections. They have a lot more power than I do. But I am a simple merchant. I'm not expecting much power. If you guys are investigating, I would have appreciated kind of, a little bit of tidbits.
What is
So
it?
if we...
What is it you're after? You ask for information, but the sky is blue. There's your information. What is it you want, specifically?
There is something in this area.
In return.
There is a particular artifact in this area, I've been told. That's one of the main reasons the Templars are out here. I had to even spend some time drawing that out of them. Have you got it yet?
What a turn of phrase.
Why would you assume we have this artifact? We simply found ourselves in the center of the fallen lands of Fling to retrieve an item to resurrect our...
I think that's a fucking a deception check. That one.
I think
To
Alden
be
would have
fair,
to make one to not just like when he asks it like that, to be honest.
I mean, to be fair, I don't know if Indestrum would know that specifically the eye is an artifact, or...
Well, I mean, I did describe it as either a key or something that they used to protect the vault, so that's up to your interpretation, I suppose.
I mean, the fact you also recognise it as being one of the things Deus told you, like interrogated, I'd argue.
Okay, deception then. Fine.
Yeah.
Straight.
Yeah.
Okay. Where there it is. Oh boy. Average.
Auburn does not do a spit take.
Well, to be fair, the question I'm asking is why would you assume we have it?
I'd argue that the
I'm just saying that's the question that's being asked. That's all.
Everybody's lying
Well,
for
well,
omission.
well,
Nobody
yeah.
tells the truth.
But my deception was 12, and that's the question.
cool. I'll let that. I won't say what. He won't make any decisions based on if he fails or passes. That really. No. He. Well. I know that you being in the area is suspicious. I had a suspicion that maybe you were involved. I don't know. That's kind of an intuition, really.
Purely coincidental. Sure.
Yes. Yeah. I suppose I should be pointing at you. You guys can't be involved in it.
We can't be at the heart of
Can I insight
everything
him
that
to see if
happens.
he's trying to get us to let our guard down at that point? Like if he's telling the truth or if he's just trying
Yeah,
to...
sure. Give me an insight. I like this is kind of like fucking Game of Thrones type shit here, right?
This episode's going to be
Insight
called
13.
Can I Do an Insight Check?
No, it looks like he's completely dropped the topic. Really, like I think he's going to just switch over to the next conversation. From what you can gather, this guy seems to very much talk fast. See if he can like probe to see if he can get to like a shocking reaction out of you. Maybe like kind of gauge your opinions, but looks like he's kind of dropped it.
What do we get out of feeding you any information if we had any or come across any in our travels?
Well, I suppose we can do some funds if you decide to. It depends on the value of the information, I suppose. I can pay you the normal information finding fee. I mean, the Adventurers Guild normally offers about 50 gold just for something like this, maybe per information. But you know what? It's fine. I've got the information I need. If you'd like to continue drinking the tea, he is still drinking this tea.
Well, I mean, there's definitely some information I can part with. I won't deny that some of us ended up in that pit. And I can also tell you that it's fucking horrible. I don't recommend it as a holiday location. There is, however, something stronger than I have ever witnessed at the bottom of this pit. We managed to seal it away before we made our escape, but it will be coming.
I think with that, like it looked like he was kind of wrapping up some notes. Like you suspect that he's gotten something out of the conversation previously. He was probing for certain bits of information.
I'm trying to send them down the pits to deal with that spider for us.
With that, he kind of stops. Like he seems to kind of drop the kind of probing facade of conversation. You know, there's very much back and forth, and he's kind of cautious in a way. You suspect he wasn't expecting that kind of response. Powerful creature, you say? How powerful do you suspect? I mean, do you think I could take him?
Well, I mean, there was how many, 5, 6 of us?
Rain, Garrick, Aubrun, Erilyn, Zoy's. 5? Am I missing anyone?
Rain, Garrick, Auburn. No,
Rain,
sounds right.
Garrick, Aubrun,
Garrick, Aubrun,
Abraham,
Zoyes,
Zoe.
and Erilyn. 6, right?
6, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, the 6 of us barely put a dent in it. And we're fairly proficient fighters these days.
Yeah, I know. He ponders for a second.
I mean, we'll put it this way. With the information we learned while we're down there, one of your saints created that pit, blasting something into the dark depths. I suspect that is that something. There's also a city of evil elves.
Auburn. Give me 1 second. Let me just do something.
Uh-oh.
Aubrun's head explodes.
No.
Not scanners!
I can't remember what this spell requires. Your detect magic still on, right?
It only lasts 10 minutes, but it depends
I'll
on
say so,
how long
yeah.
the conversation.
He tries to be subtle about it. He's not very. It doesn't seem like this is his skill in terms of trying to be quiet.
Mm.
You sense he casts a spell near you guys.
I've immediately stood up, hand sort of behind me, reaching for my gun. And I'm just staring at him.
He doesn't seem to be paying much attention to what you're doing. He does seem to be looking over your bodies.
Over our bodies.
Yeah, like he looks like he's very much like hurriedly looking over what like everything on you.
Do I detect magic? A detect magic spell.
You do.
Bastard.
I mean, would Indestrum recognize this being also,
Oh
a
yeah.
wizard?
I mean, he's rolled terribly for this.
Yeah.
This is distinctly detect magic.
Indestrum looks at him and goes, I don't know what you were expecting to find out yes, I'm a wizard. I, of course, am magic. And most people of our stature would not survive if it wasn't for the help of magically imbued or stronger weapons. I don't really know what you were attempting to glean from that.
He kind of gives a look at Auburn. I think I've gleaned what I needed
Yeah,
to glean.
he'd sense something, but he wouldn't see the aura because it's hidden.
No. I'd say, like,
Well, no, wouldn't he just detect the bag of holding? Or did you not put it in there?
No, I
it
didn't put
doesn't
it in
just
there.
it shows multiple I believe it shows every artifact and shows what magic they're by and by.
For the
by way.
duration, you sense the presence of magic within 30 feet of you. If you sense magic in this way, you can use your action to see a faint aura around any visible creature or object in the area.
Yeah, it's around the creature, not the object.
Or, yeah, creature or object.
Oh, aura.
It does specify.
Right.
So he would detect that there is something within 30 feet.
Multiple things.
of something of very strong magic. But he doesn't know where it is on us. The barmaid! She has it! By the gods!
Okay. Right. I sense the conversation has kind of gone into a lull here. We should do this again sometime. Like, he kind of stands up from the table. He finishes off his tea, stands up.
I'll stand up as he stands.
puts his hand out for like a handshake. Anyone take it?
I put my hand out waiting for him to give me money. I believe you said you'd pay us for information?
Kind of puts his hand into his pouch and drops 50 gold on the table.
Oh,
That's how much he wouldn't do 50 gold, he'd do 5 platinum, I think he would do.
Decadent bastard.
Did you say Edgerton shakes his hand?
Indestrum would shake hand.
It's been an honor. We should do this again someday. Keep your nose out of trouble. It's I'm sure we can make close friends after this.
I don't know about that, but I don't know how much of an honor this has been.
Well, been an honor for me. It's
And then Destrum will.
He kind of like points out, looks at Auburn. It's been an honor meeting another lordly.
And Destrum will kind of turn, like pulling the cloak and make it billow as he walks away.
As this guy walks, does he pass past Auburn?
Oh, probably, yeah.
Yeah, Auburn would whisper to him under his breath as he passes. I don't know what to make of your position, but I hope you're fully aware that the Templars and the Shepherd's flock have their own agenda.
How would you respond to that? He probably would look at you with, like, stop for a second, look at you, and when you kind of like look down your face and you can look up at someone, kind of like, yeah, no shit.
Okay, I think that reaction tells me all I need to know.
Perfect. He then walks off. He doesn't do anything else.
I look at the others. I trust him about as far as I could throw him, but I'm pretty sure he's not going to tell them.
I don't think there is much to trust in this man, but if he is as weak in his position as I feel, then maybe he is trying to find people he can use.
I mean, the Pachanian government is far from monolithic.
And I feel like his desire is to garner more power from this conversation.
It's not the more power I'm concerned about, it's why. What he'd use it for.
Well, I think it's always good to know when people want to garner more power, because those that desire power generally never mean well.
Well, I mean, will he do as his title suggests and use it for the will of the people? Is my point.
I highly doubt it. Most of these people that desire power desire it for themselves, and even though they may state that they want to better the world, they rarely ever end up doing so once they get their power. The fuck?
I don't know.
Perfect. Shall we? Because it's just turned 1 o'clock.
Holy crap, are we ending on time for once?
Yeah.
Holy crap.
I think it's probably a good place to stop.
Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect. Alright. I hope everyone enjoyed this session.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
We got some lore.
It's a shame.
We rolled some
Shame we were
insight
missing.
checks.
It was a shame we were missing everyone
Oh.
else.
But hopefully we'll have everyone next week.
Not next week.
Not next week, no.
Next
Not
time.
even
Not
next
even
time.
next time.
Which might
Yeah.
even be a month.
Yeah. I mean, the next one would be on the 16th, but that may well not happen.
And likely
That's
be
what
the
we'll say.
30th.
So yes, the 30th is likely to be our next one.
Perfect.
But if you want to keep apprised, follow us on Twitter at DeusVaultD&D.
Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.